Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone doing this evening? I'm in that morning mode right now in my head. But good evening, everyone. I am so glad you guys are here, back here with us again. Again, my name is Sylvia, and you're on the infamous Sylvia channel where we do reenactment of trials, different trials. And we're continuing with the reenactment of Cardi B and Tasha K defamation slander case. This happened back in January, and it was January the 10th, in fact. We are up to January 20th. Can you believe we're almost over with this case? Oh my goodness. But in the meantime, guys, I'm so glad you guys are here. Grab your drink, grab your popcorn, and get ready for us to do another reenactment of Tasha K and Kibi. Tasha K, Kibi, she's back on the witness stand right now. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and announce my folks up in here. All right, our first person I want to introduce to you guys, our court reporter. She is back. She is back. Miss Powerful played as the court reporter slash court deputy slash AKA everybody that's in the court. Welcome. Hey, Powerful.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm back.
All right.
I missed y'all.
Glad you're back. All right. Our next person we'll have is our uh attorney that is working on the Tasha K case, the male one. Because remember, we've had Olga. Now today we'll have Sabak. All right. Sabak is played by Miss D. Hello.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
All right, awesome, awesome. Our next player of the evening is our own Miss Motts, aka slash Miss Moore, the Cardi B. I'm saying D. Ooh, Cardi B's attorney, which is played by Miss Purple Couch. Hello, Purple Couch.
Howdy, howdy.
All right, next we're going to have our own judge of the evening, our Judge Ray, played by our own Melly Mel. Hello, Mel.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
All right, last but not least, of course, the girl who's been playing Tasha K. I hope she brings the attitude today, but here we go. Miss Perspective Me. Hello. Hello.
Hey, hello everyone.
Hi. All right, guys. Let's get ready to get started. We'll let us
Where are we starting at?
from the beginning on page 20.
Okay.
All right, here we go, guys.
You said page 20?
No, on date 20.
Oh,
Sorry.
date 20. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let me get back to the beginning.
All right.
All right.
Good evening, everybody. Let me say hi to people in the chat. They don't have that many while she get herself together.
I'm ready.
Oh, she's ready, y'all. Hi, everybody. All right, let us roll.
And scene. Thursday morning session, January the 20th, 2021. 2022, it says 2022, 9:20 a.m. All rise. United States District Court of the Northern District of Georgia, Atlanta Division is now in session. The Judge William M. Ray II presiding.
Thank you. You can have a seat, please.
Please come to order.
All right. I wanted to come in this morning to talk a minute about the end of the case because some questions were raised about closing and requests a charge conference. So we've been actively working on the charges in this case, and I'm going to spend some more time at lunch today trying to finalize the charges. I don't really anticipate a long charge conference. I mean, for the most part, on the major things y'all have agreed, I think in your requested charges, I've got a few things I'm going to change. As a general example, I'm going to use like the discussion of the elements of the charge, either from cases or from statutes themselves. One objection was made, I think, by a defendant objecting to certain language in the statute as being awkward. That may be true. Mrs. Malabian.
Olga Sabat.
Okay, she's not here yet, so I guess I'll play that part then, huh? Okay, hold on. Let me get it. I thought we have her here, but where is she anyway? Um, that wasn't our objection.
Well, in the consolidated version of everything that I had there was one thing where it objected and said it was awkward or confusing. Maybe I got that wrong, but if I didn't get it wrong, it may be true. And having been in the legislature in Georgia, the process lends itself to awkwardly written statutes. I mean, you spend hours and days sometimes trying to perfect bills in committee, and then when they hit the floor, at least in Georgia, any senator or representative can make an amendment that might be voted on minutes later. And oftentimes, most of the time, those amendments are not from lawyers because lawyers don't predominate in any legislature, much less Georgia's legislature. So sometimes things do get confusing. But the most tried and true method of developing jury instructions is always to rely on the statutes and or the case law that applies to statutes, particularly the case law of the courts that are reviewing court, that the reviewing court for that particular trial court. So I think we'll have a very streamlined discussion, and I may very well give you the instructions that I'm proposing from what y'all have submitted and what we have supplemented, maybe overnight tonight, and let you take a look at them tonight and then discuss them in the morning. I'm not sure if we'll close tomorrow. Obviously, that depends on what happens today. I do have a plea at 4:00 today, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have to end court today an hour early to deal with a criminal matter that's time sensitive that may impact things today, but plan on a full day tomorrow, either because we're still going on or because you have closed and the jury has been charged. And I'm going to give them the full day to, before we break over the weekend if we're not finished. I will not invite the jury to come back on the weekend to deliberate and will instead direct them to come back on Monday if they haven't reached a verdict, if we get to that point. Now, as it relates to closing, though, as far as the time for closing, I will generally allow 30 minutes, but I also defer to counsel for the most part. Does plaintiff have any specific requests on how long you need to close?
Yeah, I believe that we had in the pretrial conference order, we had both sides requested at least an hour. And I know defense had raised it as well. And we're in agreement with that. I definitely think everyone needs more than a half an hour. I think an hour would be at the least.
All right, that's fine with me. I can't remember if I've talked about it in this case or not. I do believe I mentioned this, that my practice is to require that in the first round for the plaintiff, given that the plaintiff has the right to open and close the closing arguments, is that your ask has to be made. In other words, if you're going to ask for specific damages or suggest to the jury a certain amount of damages be awarded should the jury find your favor on the issue of liability, you've got to make the ask in the first round so that the defendant has an opportunity to respond to the amount. You don't have to necessarily put all your logic in the first round, but you've got to throw the number out there if you're going to suggest a number, even if it's not concrete, even if it's a range. I'm going to require that you do that and would note that. Some federal courts require you really to only use your rebuttal for rebutting, kind of like the procedure for direct examination and cross-examination, where you can only ask about things or talk about things that were brought up by the other side when you get to the second or a second time. So I'm not requiring you to throw all your work product out in the first round, but I am requiring that the numbers are put forth so that the defendant can address that in their closing because they will not have an opportunity to come back. You will be able to use any of the evidence that's been admitted, including any of the videos that have been admitted. Just have it ready to go. Now, your hour is still your hour, so make sure your technology is squared up in that regard. We may take a break during closing, probably will, at least after the defendant goes. If the plaintiff spends a large amount of time in their initial round of their opening statement, then maybe even sooner than after the defendant goes. But that's probably the more likely time that we'll take a break. and then we can take a break before I charge the jury again. I just don't consciously like to keep people in the courtroom more than an hour and a half before we break. Even though I recognize yesterday we were in the courtroom 2.5 hours. I think before we broke at least. And I'm sorry about that. Just lost track of time yesterday. So before the jury retires to deliberate, the lawyers will need to make sure that the clerk has a copy of all the documents that you've admitted in sequential numbered order. I doubt the jurors have kept up with your numbers, but it's still helpful, I think, to have them in order, at least as you review, to make sure that they're all there. And we can go over our list at that time to make sure that we're not including things that shouldn't be included, or that we have everything included that should be. Now, as far as the videos are concerned, if jurors want to watch those again, I will let them do that, but they have to do it in the courtroom. We don't send out videos. I don't send out videos to jurors. Ms. Metz, did you have a question or a comment?
I actually had one, maybe two questions. One is, since there is a lot of media in this case, and I haven't asked Ms. Ismailova this, but if we were to agree that we needed slightly longer than an hour, would the court have any objection to that?
I don't really have any objection. I just like you to put yourself in the shoes of the jury, you know?
Of course.
But heck, there hasn't been any reluctance to participate in this case by any juror at this point. Speaking of which, let me just tell you that as it related to the whole discussion about the juror that was excused yesterday, she was positive. So, you know, excusing her would have ended up being our only option anyway, absent a couple of week delay. The second question you had?
Yes. The only other question I have is just to make sure I'm understanding the procedure. So if we close today, I don't know how long they have.
I don't expect to close today.
Okay. I didn't mean closing arguments. I meant closing testimony. I apologize. That was actually going to be my question. I just wanted to make sure I'm understanding it right. No matter what time testimony closes today, we're going to have until the morning to figure out our videos and everything for closing.
Right. We're not going to close today.
Okay, wonderful.
All right. I want you to be, as you're sitting here right now, I want you to be ready to close tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. We've got to get there, obviously, but I want you to be ready for that. Anything else?
No, that was it. I appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, so I want to start out after our discussion and apologize to Ms. Ismailova for a statement that I made yesterday that bothered me overnight. I think it was a low blow for me. I don't think I was wrong about the whole issue of trying to use the video of the stepfather-in-law to prove the truth of the matter asserted. I think I'm right about that, but the comment made about law school was really unnecessary and mean. And I'm sorry I said that. And, you know, I shouldn't have.
That's not a problem. Thank you, Your Honor.
I apologize for that. All right. All jurors are present. All right. Let's begin. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah. Your Honor, should Ms. Keeby go to the stand now, or
I'm sorry?
should I recall Ms. Keeby to the stand, or would you like her?
Yeah, she's still up, so she can come on up.
Thank you.
all rise. Whereupon the jurors enter the courtroom. Please be seated and come to order. Latasha Trina Keeby, herein having been previously duly sworn, was examined and testified as followed.
You can proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Keeby, if you would, do us a favor. There you go. Let's get that figured out, all right? Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to pick up where we left off the other day.
Okay.
All right. I showed you that's been already admitted into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 76.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you would, ma'am, just read the title for the jury, please.
Yes, sir. Actual proof, Cardi B knew her ex-roommate. Drake, Funky Dineva versus Tamar. Beyonce, Black Magic.
Are those all part of the same story or separate stories in this video?
Those are separate stories, a variety of stories together.
And Miss Keeby, since I know it's a little blurry, can you tell us when this video was made?
Yes, sir. September 21st of 2018.
Do you recall how long after the Stormy Jones interview was published did you publish this video?
Yes, sir. 2 days.
I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's exhibit as a defendant's exhibit 11 for identification. All right. Let me show you something, Ms. Keeby. Ms. Keeby, do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
Without testifying to the contents, what is it?
This is a rebuttal video that I made.
All right. And is this the same video that was in the previous exhibit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Your Honor. Defense moves defendant's exhibit 11 into evidence.
All right, any objection to 11?
Subject to the conversation yesterday, no.
All right, defendant's 11 is admitted with the limitations as previously ordered by the court.
Whereupon defendant's exhibit 11 was marked for purposes of identification and admitted into evidence.
Thank you, sir. And we intend to play this is probably an hour, 20, 30-minute video. We intend to only play the first 46 minutes or so for the court's knowledge.
So I'm not going to remember as we're discussing any specific exhibit, but I'm going to rely on counsel. I guess primarily the plaintiff to alert me if this is a video that required a limiting instruction. This is not, is it?
No, I don't believe so. But the designation was through 4608, which may have been shortened a little.
It's a little bit shorter.
But it shouldn't be, or so.
Okay, well, I'm just going to rely on the plaintiff to let me know when you request that limiting instruction.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Permission to publish to the jury, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
In the video we just watched, you said Lovely T.I. was waiting for the interview to drop because of her receipts. What did you mean by that?
Well, Lovely T and I, another blogger that was covering a different angle of the story, had been contacting me over the weekend. And basically, excuse me, basically, she had receipts. She didn't discuss what those receipts are, and she wanted to make sure that her receipts weren't fake. So she was waiting on me to drop Star Marie's initial interview before it was safe for her to drop her receipts, which ended up being fake anyway. And that's one of the receipts that I pulled up in this video to say that it was photoshopped because Cardi B did not have a record deal in 2013.
Were you in contact with Lovely T.I. or Lovely T.I. throughout the time you were putting the story together?
Yes, sir.
At some point, did you release a recording of a phone call between you and Lovely T.I. or Lovely T.I.?
Yes, sir.
And to your recollection, when did you release the call or publish the call on YouTube?
Published the call? Probably 6 months after I did it. Like, it was maybe a month after the lawsuit was filed in April of 2019.
Okay. And if you're saying that you filed or you released the recording April 2019, when did you record it?
Probably towards the end of September a couple of weeks after the interview and going into October, because I started to see that she was, taking sides of Cardi B. So, you know, betrayed me per se. Yeah, is what I mean.
I am showing you what's been already admitted into evidence as plaintiffs 524. And Your Honor, this call should take about an hour, 50 minutes or so. However, Your Honor wants to proceed.
Let me see if there's any objection to 524.
So could we just sidebar, Your Honor, really quickly?
Let me just say I don't have an exhibit number 524. Is there a different exhibit number?
Plaintiff's exhibit, sir.
I'm sorry.
Plaintiff's exhibit.
Plaintiff's 524.
Whereupon a bench conference was held between the court and counsel.
All right, 524 has been admitted.
No, it hasn't. This is the only thing. Sorry, we played excerpts from it, and so you said you edited it.
One section.
Right. So it's not, I'm not making a big deal out of this, but it's not technically plaintiff's 524 anymore because you guys had, or let's admit it as another number so it's added. I just want to keep the record straight because,
That's fine.
yeah, we hadn't added it and
Why don't we, let's see, we'll just point to, well, 524, we'll go with A, okay?
that's fine. I just wanted to perfect the record.
That's not a problem.
Oh, Your Honor, I believe it's an hour and 40 minutes. Did you want to?
Well, we'll probably go about 40 minutes and then we'll take a break, okay? I'll let you know.
Thank you, Judge.
Whereupon the following proceedings continued in open court.
All right, plaintiff's 524 has been admitted. This particular exhibit is an edited portion of plaintiff's 524. So the court will donate or denote it as plaintiff's 524A, which is likewise admitted without objection.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 524A was marked for purposes of identification and admitted into evidence.
Permission to publish, sir?
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, this is a long video. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. So we're going to go about 30, 40 minutes, then we'll take a break and then come back. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Whereupon an audio recording was played.
I'm sorry, Miss Keeby, who answered the phone.
Lovely T, the other creator that sided with Cardi B, answered the phone.
And who said, hey, do you have a second?
That was me.
Okay.
Whereupon an audio recording was played.
That's you just now.
Yes, sir, that's me. That's my voice.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Whereupon an audio recording was played.
All right, let's halt the video. We'll take a 10-minute recess. Thank you.
All rise. Court stands in recess for 10 minutes. Whereupon the jurors exit the courtroom.
All right, so just before we break this is, y'all can have a seat. This is the limiting instruction that I've written that I will give when y'all indicate for me it's appropriate. And it's as follows. Hearsay is an out-of-court statement offered to prove whatever it asserts. Ordinarily, hearsay is not admissible in court to prove the alleged facts contained within. However, in some instances, hearsay may be admitted for another purpose. In this case, Ms. Keeby seeks to admit certain out-of-court statements made by third parties from which she claims she was aware of and relied upon when she made statements about the plaintiff. The court has admitted these out-of-court statements only for that purpose. That is, that Ms. Keeby allegedly relied on these statements when she said what she said. You should not consider these out-of-court hearsay statements in any way as support for any claim that the allegations included within these out-of-court statements are true. Does that work for the plaintiff?
Your Honor, I think that works for the Facebook post. I don't think that quite covers the medical internet source or that Ms. Keeby.
Okay, I'll come up with something else for that.
Okay.
All right, it may have some similar connotations, but I'll write a different one for that one.
Yeah, just making it clear that like photos with, yeah, you understand. And then the only other thing I might say is that you said like statements and that you might want to clarify that that also could include someone, Miss Kibi, either showing or repeating what someone else said, because she does both in the video. She both shows the post and then repeats things that she's been told about it.
Yeah, that's getting too much into the weeds. I mean, the things that she's repeating are the things that were in the statements that she received. So,
Fair enough.
okay. These terms are second nature to us, but I mean, I've even tried to simplify some of the language as it is. First, we're looking in blacks, and then I went to, which may be the better source of ordinary thinking, ordinary language, just general internet definitions. But I'll come up with a different, somewhat similar instruction as it relates to the medical information. All right. So I'll see y'all in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise. Court stands in recess for 10 minutes. A brief recess. All rise, whereupon the jurors enter the courtroom. Please be seated and come to order.
All right. You can resume. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Resuming at minute 36.14 seconds.
Whereupon an audio recording was played.
Miss Kibi, what was Star Marie Jones' line about?
Oh, one thing for sure is she communicated to other platforms that I offered her a radio job, and I could not do that. I basically offered her a recommendation because the station that we recorded at wanted health and wellness shows. And I said I would put in a recommendation for her. So she took that as if I had the power to get her a job. The second thing I feel that she lied about, I can't say for sure, was, you know, the prostitution claims. You know, you're going to a hotel with Miss Almazar, and you know that Miss Almazar is going there to possibly trick off, which is prostitute, and you get in a bed with Miss Almazar and this supposed John. I thought that was a little bit embellished because if I'm not into prostitution, I'm not going to go and assist in prostitution activity. So her saying that she woke up and the guy was eating her out and she didn't want to do anything, I just thought that was a little far-fetched. So those were the two lies that I thought that she was telling.
Are you saying that Star Marie Jones was a willing participant?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Sorry. So, first of all, you need to be in front of a microphone because it helps the transcriptionist. And what's your objection?
He's leading the witness.
Sustained.
And what was your impression of Star Marie Jones, her willingness to participate? Did you believe that she was a willing participant?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, sir. In the prostitution.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We can stop here, Judge.
Sorry.
We can stop here
Are you finished with your questions?
for this set of questions, but we have another video.
All right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll break for lunch. We'll see you at 1:30. Take your notes with you. Thank you.
Lady, oh, wait a minute. That's, all rise, whereupon the jurors exit the courtroom. Please be seated.
Okay, so just quickly, the other statement as it relates to the interview where the pseudo-medical definition was provided, this is what I've written. In this next video, there will appear on the screen certain information or text which purportedly defines herpes or the symptoms of herpes. This information is not evidence of what herpes is or what some of or all of the symptoms of herpes include. Rather, it is merely information which Ms. Kebe obtained from some source and which she alleges that she relied upon when she made certain statements about the plaintiff.
Yeah, I think that works, Your Honor. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
That's fine with us, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see y'all in an hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
All rise, whereupon a recess was taken from 12:30 p.m. until 1:30 p.m. All rise, the court is again in session.
All right, thank you.
Please be seated and come to order.
All right, you can bring the jury in, please.
All rise, whereupon the jurors enter the courtroom. Please be seated and come to order.
All right, good afternoon. So it's my understanding that a juror or jurors anonymously have requested that things be warmed up a little bit. So we have placed a call for that to happen, which probably means before we leave today, it's going to be really hot. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a lot of middle ground. I don't normally recognize it being very cold because I like it cold generally. The court reporter doesn't because she's got a space heater right down here that I was told about. So she's not complaining either. So in any event, we'll continue with the defendant's examination. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What happened after you published the video we saw before lunch?
A few months went past and I got word of a video with Miss Almazar in a towel. And she basically made a video to her followers stating that she was going to sue me for defamation of character.
Was that the video you said with the towel on her head we watched last week?
Yes, sir.
What did you do after you saw the video?
I made a response to the video to the allegation that was made in her video that she made on Instagram.
I'm showing you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 77. Ms. Kebe, do you recognize that?
There's nothing on the screen.
Okay. Without testifying to the substance, how do you recognize that?
No, I don't see anything on the screen.
It's not up yet.
Oh, it's not up yet.
It shouldn't go there. It should just be.
My apologies. Ms. Kebe, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as Defendant's Exhibit 77. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
All right. How do you recognize that?
That's a screenshot from my YouTube channel.
Your Honor, we would move Defendant's Exhibit 77 into evidence.
Any objection to 77?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 77 is admitted.
Thank you, sir.
Whereupon Defendant's Exhibit 77 was marked for the purpose of identification and admitted into evidence.
All right. Ms. Kebe, if you would, for the jurors, please read out the name and the title.
Yes, sir. Tasha K responds to Cardi B's defamation suit and Offset's dad calling Cardi B out and more.
And if you would, for the jury, the date this video was published on YouTube?
December 18th, 2018.
I'm showing you now that's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 8. Ms. Kebe, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize that?
That's the actual video that I made in response to Cardi B's announcement that she was going to sue me.
Okay. Your Honor, we move Defense Exhibit 8 into evidence.
I'm sorry, what's the number?
8.
8?
Yes, sir.
Any objection to 8?
Just a small issue. If we could have a short sidebar.
Whereupon a bench conference was held between the court and counsel.
Thank you. So this is the video that we need the limiting instruction for. So I just wanted to.
With the father?
Yes, Your Honor, and the medical thing.
Oh, it's in the same video?
It's in the same video. And one more thing. The other thing that is in this is the translation issue that we discussed yesterday. Ms. Ismailova told me that they would stipulate to, we sent a proposed translation last night, and we were told they would stipulate to it. I rather like to put it on the record formally before the video is shown, because that was how one of the ways the court suggested we resolve the issue.
Okay.
I'm happy to read it.
All right.
Okay.
Whereupon the following proceedings continued in open court.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there's a couple of limiting instructions that I need to give the court. About. Give the jury about the video that you're about to watch, as well as a stipulation that the parties have reached regarding certain phrases used in the video by the plaintiff that was in Spanish. In other words, providing you with the Spanish interpretation of what it said. Hearsay is a legal term, and it's an out-of-court statement offered to prove whatever it asserts. Ordinarily, hearsay is not admissible in court to prove the alleged facts contained within. However, in some instances, hearsay may be admitted for another purpose. In this case, Ms. Keeby seeks to admit certain out-of-court statements made by third parties in which she claims that she was aware of and relied upon when Ms. Keeby made certain statements about the plaintiff. The court has admitted the out-of-court statements only for that purpose. That is, that Ms. Keeby allegedly relied on these statements when she said what she said. You should not consider these out-of-court hearsay statements in any other way or for support for any claim that the allegations included within the out-of-court statements are true. Further, in the video, there will appear on the screen certain information or text which purportedly defines herpes or the symptoms of herpes. This information is not evidence of what herpes is or what some or all of the symptoms of herpes includes. Rather, it is merely information which Ms. Keeby obtained from source and which she alleges that she relied upon when she made certain statements about the plaintiff. Counsel, if you would now read that stipulation that the parties have reached about the Spanish word spoken.
Your Honor, I have it right here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the stipulation you will see as Spanish language in the video. This will be the interpretation that both parties have agreed to. They don't have a lifeline. It's just annoying. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Like, it's just like everything, my N-word, everything. They say I had cold sores, Diablo, damn. These people are crazy. They say whatever. They say any effing dumb S. But I bet they won't take the time to go to YouTube and look up Cardi B videos and see that my S has always been looking the same forever. I bet they won't go on Google and see that I have a birthmark here all my life and how my lip always been brown around here. Like a lot of bees, my skin complexion.
Yes, and then, Your Honor, we'd just like to add that to the stipulated facts that are officially part of the record, we'll follow up with a writing.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I move Defendants Exhibit 34 into evidence, or 8, rather, into evidence.
So Defendants Exhibit 8 has been admitted. Thank you.
Whereupon Defendant Exhibit 8 was marked for the purpose of identification and admitted into evidence.
Thank you, Judge. All right.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
Miss Keeby, in the video that we just watched, you reference another video about the plaintiff putting a beer bottle in her vagina. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what's been marked as Defendants Exhibit 34. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, sir.
Without testifying to the contents, How do you recognize the video?
It's a video that I've seen on various porn sites.
Your Honor, we move defendant's Exhibit 3 into evidence. I'm sorry, 34.
34, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
34 is admitted.
Whereupon defendant Exhibit 34 was marked for the purpose of identification and admitted into evidence.
Thank you.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
Ms. Keeby, where did you see that video?
I believe Pornhub at the time.
Have you seen it anywhere else?
Yes, it's on various top porn sites, monetizable.
Is this video still available on those websites?
Oh, yes, sir.
What are the titles of those videos?
Cardi B puts beer bottle in her pussy.
I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's Exhibit 3 for identification purposes.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
Without testifying to the contents, how do you recognize it?
It's a video, I'm sorry. It's a picture on the internet of Cardi B.
Miss Almazar?
I'm so sorry, Miss Almazar.
Thank you. Your Honor, we move defendant's Exhibit 3 into evidence.
Any objection?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can you give me a moment? Okay. Yes, Your Honor. We do object to this.
All right, sidebar, please.
A bench conference was held between the court and the counsel.
Okay, before we even start, what's the purpose of this photograph?
The box.
It's one of the photographs she relied on as far as cold sores.
Okay. So when she testified at her deposition, she was unable to authenticate the photo and lay a foundation for it because she couldn't tell whether it had been edited or whether anything else had happened to it. I am going to say this. The version of, I don't know if this is the same one, but a version of this was introduced as part of one of her posts. And I don't have a problem with her using that, but she was unable to authenticate this at her deposition.
Why does she have to authenticate it if she says it's a photo that she saw before she made comments and relied on it? She doesn't have to be right. She just has to say that that's what that's what I relied on. And then you certainly can cross-examine her about how does she know it's your client and make arrangements or make arguments whether or not it was reasonable to rely on it. But I mean, there's no authentication necessary to say I relied on it. Maybe there is to say it's the plaintiff. And honestly, that's a decision that's up to the jury to make, you know?
I hear you. The way it sounded like he was authenticating it, saying she's like saying this is a photograph of the plaintiff. I don't think that that's how it should be authenticated in this instance because I actually think it misleads the jury. If they want to say that it's a copy of a photo you found and you saw this and relied upon it and you want to let it in for that purpose, then I completely understand that.
By saying that it's not your client, I don't understand.
I am saying that I have no idea where the photo came from. I have no idea if it's been edited. I have no idea what your client did to it or where she found it.
None of that really matters. Hold on a second. None of that really matters. None of that really matters if she says she relied on it, and it's up to the jury to decide who it is. I mean, honestly, people generally, maybe this case isn't, but you're not generally able to testify as to who's who. That's usually a question that's left up to the jury. It's admissible for for the purposes that I outlined it is. If she's going to say she relied on that, believing it to be the plaintiff and making the comment that she made it up, herpes.
I just didn't want it admitted. The way she phrased it, it sounded like she was doing this in a true and correct copy of. She said, "This is the plaintiff." I understand the jury is going to see it, the jury is going to decide. I completely hear you. I'm just saying, if they want to admit it as something they relied on, authenticate it that way.
Well, why don't you follow up with those questions, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, we move defendants exhibit 3 into evidence.
Well, so follow up with the questions that we talked about first.
I will, sir. Ms. Keeby, when you stated that Ms. Almazar has cold sores, you relied on certain things.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm showing you what's been marked as defendants exhibit 3.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Is it one of the things you relied on?
Yes, sir. One of them.
Okay, Your Honor. We now move defendants exhibit 3 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defendants 3 is admitted.
Thank you.
Defendants Exhibit 3 was marked for the purpose of identification and admitted into evidence.
Ms. Keeby, who do you believe this is to be a photograph of?
Miss Almazar.
Okay, all right. And if we look closer here, is this what you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Are you referring to her birthmark?
No, sir.
Okay, you're referring to the bumps on...
Objection, Your Honor. He's leading the witness.
Overruled in this instance.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. She's got to answer.
I'm sorry.
She's got to answer.
Oh, she didn't answer? My apologies.
Can you put the picture back up and repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sure. Madam Court Reporter, would you mind repeating the question for us?
Oh.
Whereupon the record was read.
Thank you, ma'am. Are you referring to the birthmark?
No, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. I'm going to show you now what's been pre-marked as Defendant's Exhibit 68. Ms. Keeby, without testifying to the contents, do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is this something that you relied on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you rely on it when you reported about Ms. Almazar's cold sores?
Yes, sir. This was a viral photo.
Your Honor, we now move Defendant's Exhibit 68 into evidence.
Any objection to 68?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, y'all can approach, please.
Whereupon a bench conference was held between the court and counsel.
All right, thank you.
This isn't even a photograph of the plaintiff.
She said she relied on it. We haven't. I guess the argument is going to be that because she believed that was the plaintiff's husband, that the plaintiff's husband had cold sores, then it fit into her mind that the plaintiff would have cold sores too if they engaged sexually or otherwise. So it's their argument.
All right.
Whereupon the following proceedings continued in open court.
All right, 68?
68, Your Honor.
68 is admitted over the objection of the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Whereupon Defendant Exhibit 68 was marked for the purpose of identification and admitted into evidence.
All right, Miss Kibi, who is this?
This is Miss Almazar's husband, Kiari Cyphus.
What is his professional name?
Offset.
And is this also another photo that you relied on?
Yes, sir.
And what about this photo did you rely on?
The visible sores. I know it's kind of a blurry, but the sores on his lips.
Now, were you the first person to say anything about Miss Almazar's cold sores?
Absolutely not.
Where did you hear that before?
Well, after the Star Marie interview, before I did my receipts video, when I said actual proof that Cardi B knew her ex-roommate, I did some extensive research on where the herpes allegations came from, because I was like, you know, of course these photos were on the internet, of course. And that's what Azalea Banks relied on. But since 2015, there have been tons of tweets with hashtag Cardi B, hashtag herpes. 2017 Love and Hip Hop star Jocelyn Hernandez was a Love and Hip Hop star of Atlanta. Cardi B was with the New York franchise. Jocelyn Hernandez was jealous of Cardi B's fame and made a diss track. And the actual one of the lines in the diss track said, "Why don't you like worry about your herpes, bumpy mouth, or bloody mouth," or something like that. And so it was really viral because two Love and Hip Hop franchises are going at it. Cardi B actually responds. Jocelyn does a press run about it. Azalea Banks was next. And so this been following her pretty much her whole career. So when Star Marie came out, you know, with her, you know, account of dealing and living and working with Cardi B, she did mention visible cold sores on her mouth. There have been pictures, and so I just kind of compiled everything before I made that video. But I didn't focus on the herpes because, I mean, it's herpes. It's not a big deal to me, so, you know, but I'm sorry. Did I answer the question? I don't want to ramble, so I'm sorry.
You didn't. To your knowledge, do you know if Miss Almazar has ever sued Jocelyn Hernandez?
Uh, no, no, sir.
Has she ever sued Azalea Banks?
No, sir.
Any of the social media users that make comments?
No, sir.
Ms. Kibi, I'm going to show you what's already been admitted into evidence as Plaintiff's Exhibit 592. And I just want to play a portion starting at what's 1 hour, 16 minutes.
I think the jury can see it.
It's already in evidence.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
I intend to play this from 16 minutes to about 1 minute, 1 hour, 16 minutes, 29 seconds. So about 29 seconds of this.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
Did you report that as fact?
Absolutely not.
And how long was that video?
This video is, I believe, almost like an hour and a half, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you mention HPV anywhere else in that video?
No, sir.
Have you mentioned HPV and Ms. Almazar in any other video?
No, sir.
And was this video before or after the lawsuit?
This was after the lawsuit.
Last week, Ms. Matz was questioning you. She played a video with you wearing a red shirt. Do you recall the video?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall the date of that video?
I think it was towards the end of 2020. probably shortly after this video here, the end of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the exact date.
And at that point, you released the video about how long had this lawsuit been pending?
Almost a year and a half. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Almost a year and a half, 2 years. Sorry. It went down the wrong pipe. Give me a second. Okay.
Miss Keeby, how would you describe your mood at the time you made that video?
I was extremely angry, frustrated, and fed up with everything.
Why?
I mean, Miss Almazar and I had been going back and forth for about 3 years. Of course, the lawsuit was filed in 2019, and over the course of the lawsuit, our lawyers are going back and forth with evidence and things like that. And her and I had been going back and forth on social media heavy the entire time. And so she's calling me names, I'm calling her names. And so, after, she said something on her Twitter and Instagram, she was in my comments. I just said, you know what? After everything that I found out regarding this conspiracy lawsuit, I just said, you know what? That's it. And so I just made a video and I went in on her. I dragged her.
Is that video still available for the public?
No. I took that down a few hours after I made it.
Did you take it down because it was defamatory?
No. It wasn't defamatory at all.
Why did you take it down?
I just wasn't proud of my actions. That's not how I am as a person. I don't like to get angry like that and take it to the internet. So I took it down.
Miss Keeby, approximately how many followers do you have on Instagram?
Almost 300,000.
What about Twitter?
Around like 35 to 36,000.
And YouTube?
Over 1 million.
Why did you call plaintiff a prostitute?
Ms. Almazar has made various videos over the course of her career bragging about being a prostitute and having tricks.
When you said the plaintiff used to be a prostitute, did you believe that to be a true statement?
Absolutely, yes.
Why did you say why did you say plaintiff was a drug user?
She's one thing that really stood out about the drug use. Of course, I can never confirm, all the drugs, but a Rolling Stone article came out at the beginning of her career when Bodak Yellow went viral. And so Rolling Stone corresponded, Rolling Stone's corresponded, followed her for a day. And so this was the same article that I talked about earlier in my testimony about her talking about her yeast infection and that her vagina was screaming like a raging taco. She also talked about Molly, and she told the writer, and the writer quoted her, "I used Molly to boost my confidence to strip." So that was part of the research that I did to back up Star Marie's story, because Star Marie did mention Molly and cocaine, but I could confirm the Molly.
When you say plaintiff was a drug user, did you believe that was a true statement?
Yes. She has videos where she's bragged about popping, whatever she got to pop to make her feel good. She calls it a little something, something. So there's a lot of content out there with her talking about it.
Why did you say plaintiff has cold sores?
I mean, of course, the pictures. This has been something that people have been using or saying since the beginning and the rise of her career at Love and Hip Hop. The cold sores are, visible. and they've been viral on every media news site. So yeah, I didn't think, I mean, if it wasn't true for me, I would have deaded it at the beginning, you know?
When you said the plaintiff has cold sores, did you believe that was a true statement?
Yes, sir.
Why did you believe plaintiff put a beer bottle up her vagina?
I mean, strippers, that's what they do. They do things, you know? I saw the video. The video was, it's all over the internet. You can Google it. And big porn sites, they monetize their videos. So users get paid, or they pay users when they upload these videos. So the title reads, Cardi B puts a beer bottle up her vagina. And so it's something that I had seen and it's crossed my desk. But, you know,
Okay,
and it looks just like her.
so when you say the plaintiff put a beer bottle in her vagina, did you believe that to be a true statement?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
When you stated that plaintiff had HPV, did you state that as a fact?
Oh, no.
Did you build your YouTube channel for the purpose of harassing Ms. Almazar?
Absolutely not.
Since September 19, 2018, have you been engaged in a malicious campaign to defame Ms. Almazar?
Absolutely not.
Have you ever made up any stories about Ms. Almazar?
No, sir.
So tell us, what is the main source of all your information regarding Ms. Almazar?
Her mouth, honestly.
No further questions.
All right. Any cross examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Here, is there any chance we can take a quick comfort break?
We'll go ahead and take an afternoon break, a 10-minute break, and we'll see y'all as soon as you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise, whereupon the jurors exit the courtroom.
All right. See y'all in 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Brief recess. All rise. This honorable court is again in session.
Thank you. Miss Matz, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Do I need to change this bag?
I'm sorry. So we don't change the bags for the lawyers. We do for witnesses because they often have to get their faces real close to them. If you want us to, we can.
Would you mind if I just did it?
Sure. Just go ahead. We've had trials where it has changed out every time somebody comes up.
All right. All rise. Whereupon the jurors enter the courtroom. Please be seated and come to order.
All right. You can proceed.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Keeby.
Good afternoon.
When you were testifying earlier this week, I believe you testified that the spike in your viewership in September of 2018 was due to the R. Kelly videos. Do you recall giving that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we please pull up plaintiff's 834, which was previously admitted into evidence? And this is the document you were looking at when you were giving that testimony, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
And
Yes,
where
ma'am.
did this document come from?
Either my website or YouTube.
Okay, either your website or YouTube, meaning you're not actually familiar with the source of this document?
I'm familiar. Both YouTube and my website, they look exactly the same.
I'm asking if you're familiar with the source of this document.
Yes. It's most likely my website.
Most likely?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are you heavily involved with tracking the analytics and the financials of the Unwind Tasha K platform?
No, ma'am.
That's your husband's part of the job, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you also gave some testimony about what caused the spike in viewership, I believe, when we were looking at a post. Was that testimony based upon your own review of analytics?
Yes, ma'am.
So you actually reviewed those analytics?
Yes, that was a pretty big few months for us. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And if we could please pull up plaintiff's 813. You also recall giving testimony that the Star Marie Jones interview, well, I believe you said it had almost 5 million views or more. Is that correct?
I believe it's like under 5 million.
You don't recall testifying when I originally asked you questions during your direct examination that it was more than 5 million?
Probably. I mean, it fluctuates daily, so it goes up.
It fluctuates daily, so it goes up, but it couldn't go down, right?
No, that's impossible.
So you're kind of speculating right now, correct?
No, ma'am.
Well, you said over 5 million when I first questioned you, but now you're saying it might be under 5 million. So which is it?
It was a give or take. I don't have the exact number in front of me.
Okay, so you don't recall the exact number now, but you did a day or two ago?
No, ma'am. They probably have gone up by now. The case is causing it to spike.
Okay, just a minute ago, you just said it might be under 5 million. But when I asked you last week, you said it was over 5 million. So how is that a spike?
Because the case is trending. Cardi B's name is everywhere. So if her name is searchable, everybody is watching the interview. So it's going up. I can't tell you the number now, but we can Google it.
But it wouldn't go down, is my point, correct?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, thank you. All right. And in plaintiff's 813, we're looking at the time this was provided, which was during discovery. Do you remember that?
Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Do you need to do something?
Yes.
All right, let's just pause for a moment.
Sure, no problem, Your Honor.
Brief recess.
All right, you can proceed.
Okay. You've seen this document before, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this is a list of videos published on your YouTube account with the number of views in the column all the way to the left. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at the top, that this list was produced during discovery. The top video on this list, the exclusive Cardi B's ex-friend alleges Cardi B kept a huge box filled with monostat and reveals more. That's the Star Marie Jones video, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at the time that this was produced, it had over 4.2 million views. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And is it your understanding that this list is organized in a fashion so that, at least at the time that this was published, the videos with the most views are at the top?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so at the time that this was produced during this lawsuit, the Star Marie Jones video was the top viewed video on your YouTube channel, correct?
That is correct.
And yet it is still your testimony that the spike in views, in subscribers and views between August and September and October of 2019, you're saying that that all was R. Kelly?
Yes, ma'am. I actually lost around
Thank you.
13,000 followers
It was a yes or no question, ma'am.
from the Cardi B interview.
She did say yes, but she was giving her explanation. So go ahead with your explanation.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, right around the time when I published the Star Marie interview and the R. Kelly videos, of course, you can see the various dates. They were going viral because Surviving R. Kelly came out. I actually lost around 13,000 subscribers from the interview because of the controversy of it. But in January, as the R. Kelly videos rolled, I gained about anywhere from 20 to 60,000 per se over the course of the months.
Okay, so you're saying that this video had nothing to do with it. That's your testimony?
I mean, I'm sure it had some, spike, but not much. I mean, it really did drastic damage on my channel.
So when I asked you if it was your testimony that it was solely due to the R. Kelly video, and you said yes, that wasn't true, correct?
You asked me, your question was it just R. Kelly or Cardi B? It was a collective. So around that time, from August to January, the surviving R. Kelly videos caused a spike, of course. That interview with me and Cardi B going back and forth became viral, but the one video really did nothing for my channel.
Okay, all right. You also testified about a video that you did. I believe you said you were defending my client for taking a part in a prior acting job. Do you recall giving testimony about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in that video, when you said you were defending my client, you also said she prostituted for a living, correct?
That is correct.
All right, let's talk about the Star Marie Jones video interview for a moment. Being familiar with the analytics from your YouTube channel, do you know how long most people watch your videos?
It's different for every video. That's hard to say.
But is it generally true that more people watch the beginning of videos and fewer people finish the full length of longer videos?
Yeah, that's of course for everything. Yes, ma'am. Every video.
That's generally true on YouTube, probably in general, correct?
Movies as well.
Okay, so it actually withdrawn. Let me ask you another question. All right, now you have given some testimony today about your interview with Star Marie Jones. And is it your testimony that you believe she was credible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's look at the video for a moment. We can pull it up. I believe it's D5. This was moved in, I believe. Did you move this in?
Of course I did. We did.
Yeah. All right. If you can just play the first maybe 30 seconds of it, we're not going to rewatch the whole thing.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
Please pause there for a moment. All right. You've previously admitted under oath that the reason you asked those three questions first is because those are the things that Star Marie has stated in her prior interview that went viral.
It wasn't an interview. It was a live stream of hers that went viral.
But you did testify that you asked those three things first because that's what she stated that went viral.
That's correct.
Okay. And in the video, in this interview, Ms. Jones gave multiple statements about her criminal history, correct?
That is correct.
She said that during the time she was claiming that she was living with Cardi B, she was going to Georgia to check in with her probation officer.
That is correct.
You also heard her tell you that she couldn't pass a background check,
That is correct.
and that's because she had criminal felony convictions.
I'm not sure of the convictions. I just know that she had some stuff in process.
But you described it in your deposition as quite the criminal past, correct?
It was one incident, I believe.
I asked you if that's how you described it in your deposition.
May I see the deposition, please?
Sure. All right. You should have it up there.
Oh, hold on. So which day?
The November the 19th deposition,
Okay, what page?
page 200.
200. And what line?
Actually, I think it's on the next page. Hold on one moment. Okay, all right. Page 201, line 9. She told me she had quite a criminal past. So, yeah. All right. So, she told you she had quite a criminal past. Answer, yes. Is that the testimony that you gave?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you also heard Star Marie tell you that she allegedly lied to the owner of the strip club and told him that Cardi was her cousin, right?
That is correct.
All right. You also recall saying in the interview that when you were talking about the herpes allegation, saying that it was quite a serious allegation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You also recall Ms. Jones saying that she was mandated to the state of Georgia and she was in New York illegally.
Yes, ma'am.
At one point during the video, also you talked about getting receipts from someone named Ebony. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am. I believe Star Marie said that.
Right. Star Marie was talking about wanting to be able to give you proof for certain other things she was saying, right?
I believe so.
Because she hadn't actually provided you with any corroborative documents to substantiate what she was saying in the interview, correct?
She showed me Instagram comments between her and the strippers, as well as her and Cardi B's current makeup artist at the time.
And did you keep those?
Yes, ma'am. They're in the receipts video.
So Star Marie showed you those, or you had those conversations with the strippers?
I don't understand your question.
Well, you just said that Star Marie showed you both Instagram comments and conversations with the people you refer to as strippers.
Correct.
But in the video
And makeup artist.
and the makeup Sean Tallerin, correct?
Yes.
And I asked you if you kept them.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. And so when we were looking at, and we'll get there in a minute, but when we were looking at your video where you show conversations with Sean Tallerin, are those Star Marie's conversations with Sean Tallerin or yours?
Those are mine.
Okay. So there are separate documents that you're now saying that Star Marie showed you.
They weren't documents. They were messages on her phone between her and those girls.
But I asked you if you kept them and you said yes.
No, I kept the receipts. That's why I asked you to repeat the question.
So she showed you messages that you didn't keep.
No, ma'am. She showed me messages in order to solidify the interview that there was some sort of connection between her and Cardi B.
All right. But during your deposition, when I asked you if Jones actually showed you any documents or anything that corroborated her story, you said no.
I think I took the question as documents because you just used it here.
I said documents or anything that corroborated her story.
Was this on the first day of the deposition or the second day?
I'm asking you if that's the testimony you gave.
Okay. I'm trying to corroborate the testimony. So, which day was this testimony given?
I'll tell you what, just go to the point in the transcript, if you would, where it was discussed.
Sure. Let's look at November the 19th deposition, line 20313.
Okay.
All right. So at the deposition, I asked you, we'll look at the video in a minute. Did Miss Jones actually show you any documents or anything that corroborated her story? Answer, no. Not that I can recall. No, she didn't. Is that the testimony you gave?
Yes, ma'am.
And when I asked you on the first day, I questioned you here. Do you also recall that I asked you, and you also admitted that Miss Jones, Star Marie Jones, did not actually show you any documents or anything that corroborated her story, correct? And you said, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I took that as
Do you recall giving that testimony?
yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. So now you're changing your story. Is that correct?
I'm not changing my story. I misunderstood your question.
Okay. So when I asked you if you had anything that corroborated it, you didn't understand that? That's your testimony now?
Yes, ma'am. We were very combative on this day. You remember? It was very hard day for both of us. So your questions were coming, and I'm talking about coming fast, sort of like how you're doing here. So,
Your Honor, move to strike.
Any response to that? No response. So the witness's last statements will be stricken from the record. And ask your question again, please.
My question is, so you are now changing the testimony you gave at both your deposition and the first day of this trial, correct?
no, ma'am.
Except now you are saying that you did look at other things that you didn't testify to.
Yes, ma'am.
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Overruled.
Which is a change to the prior answer, correct?
I mean,
Yes or no, ma'am?
can you repeat the question?
I'd like to know.
Is your answer today in court different than the answer you gave either or both at your deposition or earlier in this trial?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when we were talking about the receipts that Ms. Jones was talking about in the interview from Ebony, you understood that Ms. Jones was telling you she thought that there might be additional documents that she couldn't get, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we could go to, and we're still on defendants 5, if we could go to line 26:18. I'm sorry, not line, minute 26 and 18 seconds. All right. We can just look at that. At this for a moment. You don't have to play it. You can just leave it up on the screen. Do you recall this airing in the middle of the video?
Yes, ma'am.
And it aired between maybe towards the end. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is the reason you put this in the video is to make sure that people who are watching it know how to follow you on both YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at the bottom it says subscribe to the channel, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If we can actually watch for a moment. So you do this to encourage people to up subscribership.
Yes, ma'am.
And so as we just looked at the chart of subscribership, the 4.2 million people who had seen this as of this date was at the
Guys,
same.
hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hold on. Guys, can we get the likes up, please? Can we get the likes up? I just want to give them a break for a second. Guys, and also someone please put Mel's channel up as well as Purple Couch channel. Put it in the link for those so they can go and subscribe to their channel. Mel is the judge, and Miss Moore slash Mott's is Purple Couch. You guys are not don't want any water yet? Take some water. Take a breather. You're
Yeah, I just took a
thirsty.
sip. I just took a sip.
Take a sip.
Nasa
Guys, you
gonna do
guys
it
are
too.
doing an awesome job. Awesome. Aren't they doing an awesome
Yes,
job?
she's doing Purple
Good
Couch
job,
is
y'all.
knocking it out the ballpark.
Yeah, y'all knocking it, y'all. Y'all enjoying this.
Oh,
We had
yes.
120 people up in the chat. Guys, come on. Let's get the likes up. Get the likes up. Let's get the likes up.
I'm surprised I haven't asked for water during court yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I was
surprised.
wondering. She almost choked on some water earlier.
All right, guys. How many likes do we have, mods? I said Matt. They killing it, aren't they, Toria? I really appreciate you guys. You guys are, y'all my cast. We got 91. Come on, can we get 9 more likes, please? 9 more likes so we can get 100 likes before we end this today. All right. Thank you so much, Lady Coltrane, for putting it. I think that's Mel's chat right there. Okay, we got 91. Come on now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. Oh, Miss S. Thomas. Thank you. Thank you, all those who has given me super chat. I didn't get a chance to say thank you. Thank you so much, guys. You guys rock. I tell you, you guys rock. You make a girl feel good up in here. I might have to do that dance for y'all. That strip tea dance. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Nosy Rosie. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the love that you guys are showing to our channel today. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and let's get them. How many we have now? How many did we get the 100 that we wanted? Did we get the 100? We just need to give them a breather for a moment. Okay, we need three more, three more, three more. All right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Likes are free. Come on, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, guys. Come on, let's get that 100. Just trying to give my readers a break because I mean, we be reading like 100 pages, guys. Come on, hours of reading just for you guys. Thank you, Sonia, for my super chat. Thank you, God darlings. All right, are we ready? Come on, how many we got? Did we get the 100 yet? Did we get the 100? Did we get our 100? There's a whole bunch of winos in here. They're just mad. Stop being mad. We're giving y'all the truth. We need one more, one more. Come on, don't be mad, winos, because we're just giving you the truth. We're not hating on anybody. We just want to give you the truth. Perspective said 99. They said 98. Which one is it?
It's 100 now.
It's 100. Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! And please subscribe to Mel and Purple Couch. And do you guys have a channel? I know, Powerful, do you have a channel?
No.
You don't? Okay. What about you, Miss Dennis?
Oh no.
Tasha K? I mean, perspective, you have a channel?
Yeah.
Guys,
One
thank you.
day.
Thank you. Negative. All right, guys, go ahead on. Let them roll. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. And so, as we just looked at the chart of subscribership, the 4.2 million people who had seen this as of this date would have seen your plug to subscribe to your channel, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Whereupon an audio recording was played.
Okay. Can you pause? Okay. And these are both email addresses associated with your Unwind with Tasha K platform, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the first one here, it says forward tips and stories to unwind with Tasha K at gmail.com. You put that here to solicit people to send you information, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the second one is for people who want to advertise with you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you recall also during the video there being a discussion about by my client responding she looks guilty? Do you recall that?
No, ma'am. Can you replay it for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Could we just go to 2923?
Whereupon a video recording was played.
All right. Pause here. Do you recall this discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you share Ms. Jones' view that by responding and saying this isn't true, that somehow makes my client look guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's your view that if people say untrue things about my client, she should just keep her mouth shut?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, ma'am.
And by voicing that they're not true, that somehow makes her look guilty. That's what you believe?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. At the time of this video was published, not when it was recorded, but at the time it was published, had you already had the conversation with Ash Cash Legit and Spotlight and Sean Tallerin that we looked at in a following video?
No, ma'am.
So you had those conversations afterwards?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So at the time, you hadn't actually spoken to any of the people that you were saying you later spoke with about Ms. Jones and my client working together, correct?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
All right. In this interview, there was also a discussion where Ms. Jones said that Offset also had a herpes blister. Do you recall hearing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what prompted you to go looking on the internet for photos?
I'm sorry?
Is that what prompted you to go looking on the internet for the photos that we looked at earlier?
Of Offset?
Yes.
Oh, no, ma'am.
You looked at those before?
No, ma'am.
You looked at those after the video was published?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You also recall that Ms. Jones in this video told you on a couple of different occasions that she was saying that my client, Cardi, told people at this club that she had herpes. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
And she characterized that allegation as trying to kill her career. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you published this video with her statements in that, you understood that she at least thought that those would be damaging to someone, correct?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question?
Sure. I said when you published this video with those statements in it, you understood that she believed that such allegations would be damaging to someone, correct?
I can't speak for her.
You can't speak for her on this.
No, that's because we didn't talk about that.
She didn't say to you that Cardi, by allegedly saying that was trying to kill her career.
At the time, we're talking about something that happened years prior, around 2010.
So at least at the time when she was working then, you think that she believed it would have been damaging?
I can't speak on that. I wasn't working in that club at the time. That was around 2010. We recorded this interview in 2018.
Okay. So you can't speak to her state of mind about the time period in question.
No, ma'am.
Objection, speculation, Your Honor.
Well, I don't think it's speculation as to whether or not the witness can answer a question about whether she could speak to someone else's state of mind. I think if she tried to do that, the objection would probably fit. Also, the question has been answered.
Thank you. Okay. You also heard Ms. Jones talk about, towards the end of the interview, how she had recently reached out to my client, correct? At the time this was recorded, of course.
I don't believe it was recently. She said when Cardi B had first become like famous, like on Love and Hip Hop. So that wasn't recent.
Okay, but she had reached out to my client at that time, the time my client was starting to become famous.
Yes, ma'am. She said that.
And she said my client didn't get back to her, right?
I believe she said, if I'm not mistaken, that she was on a live stream, Cardi B's live stream, and said, "Hey, Carmel," or something like that. And then Cardi B then brought up someone that they mutually knew and started to diss her then.
All right. And at least, why don't we go to the section of the interview? Let's go to a minute 40.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
A minute 40.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
All right. We can stop there. Okay. So after she said that Cardi went live with someone else, she was like, F this. You heard that, right?
Yes, ma'am. We heard it.
Yeah. Indicating that she was unhappy with that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. So you hadn't looked at the photos that we looked at that your counsel showed you earlier of my client or Offset before you published this video, correct?
I believe I looked at Cardi B's photo. That photo was out, but Offset, that came out much, much later.
Well, when did it come out?
I'm not sure. It was after the interview, though. I can't give you a date. I mean, it's on the post because it was an Instagram post, so we can put it up.
And you believe you looked at the Cardi, at the photo that you're saying is of my client before.
Yes, ma'am. That photo is pretty viral.
I asked, are you sure whether you looked at it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're sure now that you looked at it before this?
I can't. I mean, that's kind of hard, but the as far as the songs and people commenting,
I'm not asking you about the songs. I'm asking about the photo.
the photo I can't say for sure, but they are on the internet. Yes, ma'am.
I'm asking if you saw them. I appreciate it if you'd answer my question.
Yes, ma'am. I've seen those photos before.
I'm asking if you saw them before the interview. And I understand your testimony to be you're not sure.
I can't say for sure.
All right. So after this interview was published, is that when you're saying you reached out to certain people that my client used to work with?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so after this interview was published, that's when you're saying that you took a comment off the internet from Ash Cash Legit. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I believe that was Star Marie's comment section.
You believe it was in Star Marie's comment section?
If I'm not mistaken, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And after that is also when you're saying you had direct messages, DMs with Spotlight and Sean Talleyrand. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And were those the basis of the next video that you made talking about this subject?
That plus more, but yes, ma'am.
All right. And in the next video, you came out and said that everything that you had said in this interview was accurate, correct?
That is correct.
Even though none of those individuals confirmed any of the statements regarding herpes or prostitution or cocaine use by my client, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And earlier, when your attorney was questioning you, I believe that you talked about getting DMs from the winos saying Tasha was reaching out to you.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. Let's look at this video for a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Let's go to the next video, which is D11. Hold on. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Just one moment. I just want to make sure this is the right exhibit.
Brief pause.
All right. We're actually going to start at 5:13. We'll come back to that when I get the time code.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
All right. Let's pause this for a minute. Okay. So on the screen here, is this a receipt that, or what you call a receipt, that you saved confirming some portion of Star Marie's criminal history?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you felt that that was an important receipt to have?
Yes, ma'am. To prove that she was on probation.
All right. And do you save these receipts anywhere?
I'm sorry?
Do you save these receipts, what you call receipts, anywhere?
To my desktop, but then they get deleted. They used to get deleted. Now we save everything.
Okay. And some of the other receipts or documents that you were referring to earlier when we were talking about lots of people on the internet commenting about my client, did you keep any of those?
I'm sorry? Say that again?
Yeah. Earlier, when we were talking about there being lots of documents on the internet where other people have said my client had cold sores, did you keep all of those?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You kept all of those
Yes, ma'am.
and you produced them in discovery in this case?
No, ma'am.
No, you didn't produce them in discovery in this case.
Your Honor, I object. Can we have a sidebar?
I'm sorry, what's your objection?
And it's impermissible Can we have a sidebar?
Sure.
A bench conference was held between the court and counsel.
What's impermissible?
I believe the question is, why didn't you provide hearsay statements? That's all hearsay. Why would we provide that?
Because the discovery standard is that you produce evidence which will lead to discovery of admissible evidence, not that.
Everything else you've produced in this case is hearsay. Are you telling me you didn't understand?
These are comments.
I'm sorry, what?
Their comments are throughout all the discovery is like 2,000 exhibits. There's comments throughout.
The comments are what?
There are comments about that throughout the whole thing.
Okay, the point is your objection is she asked, Miss Matz asked, why didn't you produce the documents? And you objected and said it's impermissible.
Right.
And it's impermissible, why? She didn't ask her what the comments were. That's what the hearsay would be.
Withdrawn.
Okay, do it on the record.
Sure.
Whereupon the following proceedings continued in open court.
All right, so an objection was lodged to the question by defense counsel. The objection has been withdrawn.
Was the question answered?
And the question was, you produced them, referring to these documents or receipts in discovery in the case. And the answer was no, ma'am. And then the question right before the objection was, you didn't produce them. I'm sorry. This is a rough draft. So let's just ask your question again, because I'm a little confused with some of the text in this rough draft of transcript. So go ahead.
The record was read.
So the question is, you didn't produce them, question mark.
I'm sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. For some reason, page 73 is weird. Hold on. See if it comes up now. Couldn't preview file. I'm missing page 73. Can you guys just tell me when we get to 74 and someone fill in for 73?
Okay. No, ma'am.
Okay, did you understand that they had been requested?
No, ma'am.
All right. And is that also the reason we're not looking at them here today?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I apologize. Can I just confer for one moment?
Sure.
Brief pause.
All right, we're on 74.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of those other comments that you're testifying about that you didn't produce, we just have to take your word for it, right?
Yes, ma'am. But they are.
Okay. Thank you. I believe we were looking at D11 still. And you recall talking a little bit about the cease and desist letter you received, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And D11 was a video that you released on what date? Do you recall?
D11? What's D11?
The video we're looking at right now?
Oh, what date was this video released?
Yeah.
I believe the 21st, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And that was after you received the cease and desist letter, right?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we know that because you show the cease and desist letter in the video, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. If we can look, please, at 11:55 approximately, please. You can start here. Okay.
Whereupon a video recording was played.
All right. Let's pause for a moment. All right. So here you said in this video to all your viewers that your lawyer in DC looked at this and determined it was a fake cease and desist, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And you were saying that to imply your viewers that this cease and desist letter wasn't real, to discredit it, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. During your deposition, however, you admitted that around this time you didn't have legal counsel, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So when you said that to your viewers in your video that your lawyer looked at it and determined that it was fake to get them to discredit it, you were lying to them, correct?
No, ma'am.
So you had legal counsel at this time?
No, ma'am.
So, okay, I'm sorry. You said your lawyer in DC looked at it and determined it's a fake cease and desist.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a lawyer or not in September of 2018 between September the 19th and September the 21st?
No, ma'am.
So when you told your viewers that your lawyer looked at it and determined it was fake, you were lying, correct?
No, ma'am.
I think there's another question you should ask.
Okay. Are you lying now, or were you lying during your deposition?
I wasn't lying. No, ma'am.
So you had an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Who was that attorney?
My friend.
But you referred to it as your lawyer.
My lawyer. And I forgot to say friend.
So when you said lawyer, you meant friend?
Yes, ma'am. My lawyer friend, who is my friend who's a lawyer, who looked at the cease and desist and saw that it was not a correct cease and desist because it says gentle persons. My name is not on the cease and desist. And when she looked at the email, she saw that the lawyer at the time were CC'd. So it came from Cardi B's management team. So they copied and pasted to send me that. So I didn't take it serious because the actual lawyer did not sign it. So my lawyer friend at the time, I did not retain counsel, looked at it and said, wipe your ass with it.
Okay. But you conveyed to your viewers that that was your lawyer, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I did say lawyer.
Okay. So you were misrepresenting the situation to them.
I mean, you could say that. Yes, ma'am. But fine.
So you asked a friend for legal advice and they gave you some counsel about this, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, objection. Asked and answered. I think the jury understands.
Overruled.
But you do recall also that at your deposition, when you were being asked about your efforts to preserve certain information that you claimed was deleted, that your excuse for not having preserved that was that you didn't have legal counsel at that time.
That is correct.
All right. And you mentioned this again a minute mark 12:33, correct?
I believe so. Can you play it?
Whereupon a video recording was played.
Can you back that up a little bit?
Whereupon a video recording was played.
All right. So here again, you misrepresented that this person who you were getting advice to or from as your lawyer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was so the people who were watching this would think that that person was your lawyer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But you're saying that's not true. That person was not your lawyer.
Wasn't my lawyer. No, ma'am.
I believe you also testified a minute ago that this was sent by my client's management team.
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're saying it wasn't sent from a law firm called Davis, Shapiro, Lewitt, Grabel, Levin, Granderson, and Blake.
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Are you guessing when you answered that question?
Yes, ma'am. To my knowledge.
So you're speculating again?
I mean, I can never be sure. I'm just telling you how I saw the email came in.
But you understand you're under oath, correct?
That is correct.
So you're giving testimony under the penalties of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving answers saying yes to questions where you're really not sure, correct?
I'm giving you answers to the best of my knowledge. Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
So when we pull up this email, it's not going to have come from a law firm?
I'm not sure. Can you just put it up and we can see?
No. I'm asking you for your knowledge. So either the answer is yes or I'm not sure.
For my knowledge, that was sent to me from her management team or someone, and the lawyers were CC'd.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if Damian Ganderson is a lawyer?
No, ma'am.
Did you Google him?
I'm sorry?
Did you Google him?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't make any effort to find out if this was real?
No, ma'am. I told you. My lawyer friend looked at it.
What kind of law does your friend practice?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Family law.
Okay. And so this person doesn't really have any experience with defamation claims?
I'm not sure. I just called up a friend in DC and asked them to look at it at the time.
Okay. So you called it up a friend, asked for advice, and then told all your viewers what that person said without having any knowledge if they had any idea what they were talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. All right. Let's look at, Your Honor, can I have just 1 second to do something with a document? I just need to find it before I move on.
Yeah, I just want to remind you that we're breaking at 4 because I have another hearing at 4 o'clock.
I understand. Actually, it's on this line of questioning, so I'd like to do it now if that's okay, rather than coming back.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Whereupon there was a pause in the proceedings.
Thank you. All right. I'd like to show you what I've just marked as plaintiff's 515A. This has not been admitted into evidence yet. Have you ever seen this before?
No, ma'am. It looks familiar, but no, ma'am. No.
You've never seen this email?
What's blacked out at the top?
I'm asking if you've seen this email that is shown on the screen.
I don't remember. No, ma'am.
You don't remember?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, can we approach? Whereupon a bench conference was held between the court and counsel. Your Honor, it appears that Ms. Matz just redacted a document that we've never seen the redactions of, and she's trying to ask my client to identify it.
Well, first of all,
I'm sorry, what's your point? Go ahead and finish.
This is a redacted copy. We didn't agree to the redaction, so
Well,
in the email, her name is completely missing.
okay. Tell me what's your objection? She showed her a document which you had, right? Because it's 515 on their list.
It has been heavily redacted, something that we got or agreed to.
so you actually objected to the part I redacted because you said it was a settlement communication and neither of your clients could authenticate it.
You need to talk a little lower.
I'm sorry. And this is being offered to, excuse me.
I see what you're trying to do, but
Okay. So it's a document that you have. So that's not true that you said you haven't seen it before.
I didn't say I didn't see it, Judge. I said I didn't see the redactions.
So you haven't seen the redactions. You see it now. She's asking your client about it. Your client has said she doesn't know that she's seen it.
Right.
So what's your objection at the point we're at right this second?
I want to see the redacted version before she admits it
It's not
into
been admitted yet.
evidence.
It's not been admitted yet. You've got it on the screen. Do you want her to send you the file of the redacted?
It's not the whole document. I just see a portion of it.
It appears to be okay. So here's the thing. You're upset because your client has backtracked on what I think to be a fairly minor point, honestly, but she has backtracked on her testimony or made statements that made no sense. But the document you have, you know what it says. You've got the document. You can look on the screen and then see what's been redacted and look at the document as it exists. I don't know where to I don't know where we go from here because she said she hasn't seen it before. Maybe there's some more questions that can be asked, but I don't know what's inherently unfair about redactions to a document that you have the complete document.
Okay.
Do you want me to admit the whole document?
I'm going to pull up I have to recall my recollection being that that was an exhibit. So I'm going to pull it up on my,
Your Honor, it's impeachment of the juror. She's saying that this email came from the business managers and it's clearly from a law firm. I mean, like
okay, but was that the original email or is that a reply email?
this is the original email. I took out the reply.
But is that the, I have to look at chain. Is that the middle of the chain? Is that the beginning of the email? Or what part of the email is that? That's my question. I just don't know.
It's the original email that the cease and desist was attached to.
When you say original, do you mean the first sender? Is that a reply? Is that a response to one of the client's responses? Because it just doesn't look like the beginning of the email. This looks like the middle of it.
All right. So at this point, do you have a legal objection to her where we are? Is it hasn't been identified, so it's not admitted.
Your Honor, I can find a clean email tonight if that's what they prefer.
I just want to take a look at the clean one before.
I do have it.
I don't doubt it, right? But I didn't know it was going to be redacted for her to today. That's all.
I understand your comment and your objections.
Do you want the whole email chain then?
I want to see the whole email first.
You've got all the documents, right?
I mean,
Okay, go look at it. Go look at it.
I will. Whereupon the following proceedings continued in open court.
All right.
What page are we on? My thing flipped.
85, line
16.
15, 16. Yeah.
Okay, thank.
All right. So counsel expressed concerns about document 515A. Do you still have an objection?
Yes.
Whereupon a bench conference was held between the court and the council.
If she plans on introducing it, we ask that it be introduced in its entirety.
You want the whole thing in, even the stuff that was redacted?
That was a different email. What she's referring to is a different email. The one at the top is from Shrek, from her husband. That's the stuff you redacted, right? The email response was from her husband, which is what she testified to. So what you redacted was evidence of what she testified to. That's why I'd like the whole thing in.
What she responded was evidence that it came from her business managers.
I'm not understanding what you're.
Can I see a hard copy of it?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to show it to you, Your Honor. Are your exhibit books up there? I'm sorry.
Exhibit 515.
Yes, it is. And let me just grab my.
So you want what was there?
Yeah, that was already redacted because that's actually privilege forwarded.
Right. Whatever you had on 316, there's a response from her husband. There we go. Let me see.
You want the whole thing, this whole document as it is right here and now?
Just this page that we were talking about, because I think she's going to impeach her or whether or not she responded to the email. But that's her husband right there, which is what you redacted.
I think you're misinterpreting what the plaintiff is doing, but you want this whole thing in? Do you have any problem with the whole thing going in?
I may not, but can I check one thing on my iPad? I apologize. I didn't bring both. Just give me 1 second.
Sure. Brief pause.
Okay. I'm okay with it under one condition. This is not the email that we talked about on the first day of trial that you guys contended opened the door to a bunch of other stuff because your client, I just want to put it on the record because I don't want something else coming in later about that. And I want to make sure that they are waiving their objection to the settlement communication because they did put that objection on the record. And I don't know.
I am not waiving my objection to settlement communications in general.
No, just this. Just this.
Obviously, if I'm asking to put it, how broad are you asking me? I'm not going to agree to anything you said because
I'm putting it on the record because I don't want an issue on appeal where they claim.
Okay, y'all just step down.
Whereupon the following proceedings continued in open court.
Hey, we're not going to be able to work this out quick enough. And I've already passed the time I told you that we're going to end. So let me give you a little bit. We're going to end now. Let me give you a little bit of my best guess about where we are. I'm not sure that the defendants are going to have another witness to testify. They might. But I'm thinking that probably tomorrow the evidence will be finished in the morning, thereabouts, and that we would have closing arguments tomorrow and that I would also charge you on the law. Rather than have you come back at 9:30, I'm going to ask you to come back at 10:30. I'm going to ask that the lawyers and the parties come back at 9 a.m. so that we can finalize the jury instructions. I've already got several pages, 20-something pages of jury instructions put together that I'm going to give to counsel before they leave today so that they can have a chance to look over it this evening. And they should be prepared when they arrive in the morning at 9 o'clock to talk about the things that are in there that they think shouldn't be in there and things that aren't in there that they think should be in there. And then that way we can make those decisions before you arrive at 10:30. At 10:30, we'll continue with the questioning that is ongoing now, and then there could be some more evidence. Defendant could have some more. The plaintiff would also have an opportunity to have rebuttal testimony if that's applicable in their opinion. If you think about it, the defendant already has the opportunity to rebut anything that the plaintiff's evidence has shown because they go second. And so the law allows the plaintiff, after the defendant puts on their evidence, to then introduce any new testimony. Not the same stuff we've heard, but it's there, something new. If there's something new they would need to rebut or attempt to rebut, when the defendant has put forward, they can do so. So I think sometime tomorrow afternoon we'll have closing. I'm not sure if there will be a lot of time that is available for you to deliberate tomorrow. I hope that there is some, but there's no guarantee. And there is also, a requirement that the jury reach a verdict in any particular amount of time. There is a requirement that they do in a particular amount of time. So you would need to plan on being back probably on Monday to continue jury deliberations or to begin them if we don't get to that until Monday morning. Now, I'm relying on the information I'm telling you because I'm beginning to plan my next week. I've got Monday open for this trial, but I'm beginning other hearings on Tuesday for the rest of the week. Again, that doesn't mean that decisions have to be made in this case by then, and I will adjust my schedule accordingly to what's going on in this case. This case will have priority for all that I'm doing, but I'm trying to maximize the efficient use of my time for other matters if possible too. Do you have any questions from the jury that you want to ask? Return in the morning at 10:30, so at least you won't have to deal with rush hour on the way in. You may have to go on the drive out. But we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10:30. Thank you.
Powerful.
All rise. Whereupon the jurors exited
the courtroom.
Okay, y'all just go ahead to your tables and we'll finish this discussion in a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, y'all can be seated. So we were talking about Exhibit 515.
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. May I ask that Ms. Keeby be excused from the courtroom while we talk about something that could affect her testimony?
It's hard for me to, I can't order a party to step out of the courtroom ever. I mean,
We would object to that, Your Honor.
Okay.
so I can't do that. But as it relates to the document itself is Exhibit 515, which is on the plaintiff's list. And some questions were being asked of the witness of whether she could identify what the document was. There were some redactions that were made to the document. The defendant has objected. We've had a lot of discussions, which frankly I'm confused about, but I think we've solved it in the sense that the plaintiff is going to introduce the document without the redaction from the original 515. And in doing so, though, wants to make clear that the door is not being opened in some way. And I think you referred to settlement discussions. The earlier pretrial, there were certain objections that the defendant had made about settlement offers when a letter was sent from the lawyers for the plaintiff to the defendant. And then the defendant responded to those letters. And the defendant's position was that none of it could come in because if it came in, then it would be violative of the rule against appraising the tier of fact about any settlement discussions. And the court, you're going to have to help me remember because it's been 2 weeks now nearly. The court ruled that 515 could come in.
A different email, Your Honor. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this was actually a totally different email.
Totally different letter.
Yeah, totally. And I apologize for interrupting. I just wanted to help you since it has been a couple of weeks. 515 was the first cease and desist letter. The conversation that was had, there's two separate issues here. The conversation that was had about allegedly opening the door to certain things that had already been ruled out on motions in limine was in reference to the second cease and desist letter that was sent in 2019 from my firm. This is a totally different letter.
All right. So my assumption all along has been what we're doing is the plaintiff is attempting to prove that the witness's testimony about not thinking that the cease and desist letter were valid because it didn't come from a lawyer, it came from managers, isn't true by virtue of what the letter itself says.
Yeah.
Who it says it was sent from. So if 515 is admitted, what is it that you're afraid of it would open the door to? Where were you confused too?
I was just clarifying because I didn't want that was a very important issue about the second cease and desist letter. And I was putting it on the record to clarify because I didn't want any confusion. I am okay with the portion Mr. Sabat wanted in from the original unredacted. I'm okay with that coming in. I just wanted to clearly put on the record that they were withdrawing their objection because the 515, I believe is the Bates number. Tom, could you scroll so I can see the Bates number, please? I'm sorry. Yes, it's 515. I wanted to make sure I wasn't saying the wrong exhibit number. Plaintiff's 515, the full document that they had originally objected on the grounds that it was also a settlement communication. So if they would like us to put the whole email in, I'm willing to do that. But I want to make clear for the record that they're withdrawing that objection because I don't want an issue where they requested it and then later on some appeal, they take the opposite position. That's all.
Well, let me think about it just a minute.
We never objected to this for the record.
Never objected to what?
If I may, Your Honor.
Your Honor, how many counsel?
One counsel.
Sorry.
No one is understanding this. Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Matz has confused the court. She's referring to two separate emails that have nothing to do with each other. I don't know why she would piggyback the issue about opening the door with this email. And that's why I'm sure it was the cause of the confusion. But they just have nothing to do with each other at all. We never objected to this email coming in without the redactions. So there's no issue about opening the door. There's no issue about waiving any objections. We are just fine.
Your Honor, I don't have any problems with that except
Excuse me? We do not waive our objection to the other email. That we've already discussed, which will absolutely open the door.
that's fine. They don't need the court has already ruled on the other one.
I think they've said what you need, right? I mean, he's basically said this doesn't open the door to anything, the fact that it comes in.
They have, and they're waiving their objection based on it being a settlement communication. And I apologize. This is very frustrating because if you look at the list of objections they did file that this was a settlement communication. And I don't appreciate being accused of making things up when I'm literally looking at the pretrial order.
Your Honor, it is on our exhibit list. The exact email is on the defense exhibit list as well.
Well,
So,
515 is coming in. The plaintiff wants it to come in. The defendant has not objected to it coming in. I don't fully appreciate how it could open the door to really anything other than what it is.
Yeah, great.
So that's where we are.
Okay, fantastic.
How much longer will, and if you don't know, just tell me, but how much longer do you think your cross will take?
Don't hold me to it. I was hoping to finish up in 3 hours. It might take me a little longer. I'm getting a lot of
4 hours or 3 hours total?
I was hoping for originally 3 hours, but it's clearly taking me longer because I'm getting a lot of inconsistent answers.
All right. So I may have been a little overly optimistic then when we argued. You've got 2 hours for argument in total between you. I really don't like to have jurors have argument and then not get to deliberate. So it may be that we don't argue then until Monday, but as far as any rebuttal testimony, does the plaintiff anticipate any of that?
Maybe, but if we did, it would be very short, I think.
Does the defendant still believe that this is your only witness, or do you think that there will be the need to call anybody else?
we may call another witness, Your Honor.
You may?
We may.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all be ready to argue tomorrow. I still want you to come back at 9 a.m. I want to talk about the jury instructions. Make sure that from Mr. Roberts today that you get a copy of the court's draft of the instructions, and then we'll talk about that in the morning. So really, the way I expect that to go is for you to flag what's in there that you don't like, and we'll talk about that. I'll start with the plaintiff and go to the defendant, but also flag what it is that's not in there that you've asked for that you want me to put in there. And again, we'll do I'll hear totally from plaintiff first and then the defendant, and hopefully by 10:30 we'll be ready. Okay? We'll see y'all in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll take a 5-minute recess let's say a 10-minute recess while we reassess.
All rise. Court stands in recess, whereupon the proceedings were adjourned at 4:15 p.m. and scene.
End scene.
Wow. Can we say wow?
Wow.
Wowsy, wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I couldn't have sat through all those lies.
Wait.
I'm sorry. I'd have been antsy in my seat.
Yeah.
I'd have been too antsy in my seat.
Yeah. Their attorneys better be glad they had the judge that they had, because they almost did allow that document. And as far as my understanding, that document that Matz was talking about didn't it almost come in, and they would have ended up waiving now.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, where did the machines lie?
Y'all, I'm telling you, let me put the link, and maybe somebody would want to come in and say something, because
no machines live.
This is like crazy. Anybody want to come in and give their comment to what they have heard? Because
Miss Matt.
and they still haven't finished the conversation about Mimi. Mimi didn't come in yet. Did you heard?
I was gonna get to that one.
Mimi didn't come in yet.
So
I may have to ad lib on that and say a few things. No.
I
Who's
have,
Mimi?
Well, you're gonna find out. If you don't know
You
who
gonna find
Mimi
out
is,
who
you're gonna
Mimi
find out,
is.
baby.
Yep, just wait.
Yeah.
but I have a question for you, Miss Matt.
Uh-huh.
So you was trying to make sure that a document that they did not want to come in ended up coming in by accident, and then they would have had a reason to do it. If it would have went in, they would have had a reason to, what do you call it? Do another trial? Do a
Well, it was something that regarding the settlement conference, because
yeah.
they were going back and forth about a settlement prior
Mhm.
to this, and Tasha K was rejecting any settlement, and so that would have been the issue because they had said that that was out.
Mhm.
That the judge said no, you couldn't talk about that, and that could have led to a mistrial if that
Mistrial.
leaked in and opened the door to more settlement
Or
conference
grounds to appeal.
information.
It sounded like the document that you were trying to produce just now was a separate document.
Right,
And that's why it was problematic because the document you were just trying to produce wasn't the one
That they wanted.
that they were objecting to. And that's why Miss Matz came in and said, "Oh, so you want the whole thing in?" Because
right,
it looks like pieces of it was accepted. And then because he wasn't on his square, he was like, "I want the whole email in." And
right,
so that's when Miss Matz was like, "Oh, you want that? Are you sure about that? Are
right.
you sure?"
So it
But
sounds like that Tasha was trying to settle.
No,
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 No.
Cardi,
no.
they
Okay.
were trying to settle. The judge even recommended
That they
that
That
settled.
they
they settle
settle. Yeah,
before the trial even began. And
So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
there were conversations about it that happened in that email chain, and they were trying to leave it out because they said they didn't want the discussion to uh, impact the jury or sway
right,
the jury in any way.
And that's why you didn't want the email that they had objected from you. This email was from a different attorney.
a different law firm.
A different perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Hello, Toria. Come on in. What is your comment?
I just want to say one thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all the ladies. You have been so wonderful. You've done a fantastic job. All of you deserve an award for taking your time each and every night with us. I know it's not easy reading all them papers. That's 1,500 pages you have to read. And I really appreciate y'all doing this. I couldn't have stood up there and read all that long time. And I just
Thank you.
am
Thank you.
grateful
Thank
for
you.
all of you. I am very appreciative and grateful. And to all the winos, you can just hit the like button.
Oh,
We
You're here
can.
every night. Sylvia, thank you for
You
doing this. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning in group prayer if I get the notification.
Okay.
Right. I agree with you, Toria.
Love y'all.
Love
Love
you
you
too.
Have a
as
good
Well,
day.
well.
I'll be on at
see you
10
soon.
o'clock tomorrow. 10 o'clock tomorrow I'll be on. The reason I went
Okay,
on at
I'll look
9:30 is because of the court.
I'll look for you at 10 o'clock then.
Okay, hon. Guys, you gotta understand the reason why I decided to get the transcript is because Tasha really had me boiling because she claimed that no one threw anyone under the bus, no one lied. That's what she said about herself and her husband. This is what she said.
Hmm.
And she said that we lied of what we said that was going on in the courtroom. Okay. I personally took it personal. And that's the reason why I really push in getting these transcripts because it's so easy for so many people on the social media world to sit around and listen to lies and believe in the stuff that these people are saying. I guess y'all guys just like people to lie to you. Because to me,
Yeah.
these numbers should be really, really high in this chat because I would think people would want to know what's happening. But on her channel, y'all, she got a whole bunch of people still wanting to hear the lies.
Yep.
Sylvia's pulling receipts, is what she
And
just said.
I can
Babe.
remember when Sylvia, when you was going to the courthouse, it was one day that you came out and you was speaking very, very well about Tasha's attorneys, and you was like, I don't know, they came in strong, and so you wasn't being biased at all.
No,
And I was like, oh my goodness. I was hoping it was going the other way, but I remember I forgot what day it was, but you did come out and you did give us some information about how well her attorneys did one day.
Because at one time, Tasha had, if you could tell, Miss Matt was frazzled at one point. She started
Yeah.
getting, she turned red a couple of times because she was getting frustrated with Tasha's game. She was
Mhm.
really like, and Tasha knew she was getting to her. And
Yeah.
then when she disrespected her by calling her Sarah, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this lady really is got some balls or something, because she's thinking that, and you guys should have seen the way the judge was looking at her. He was just like intensely looking at her. Like, to me, I was like, this woman's really not sitting here saying this. Is she really doing this?
So I gotta reference one of my lines, y'all, when she said, I took that video down right after I did it because that's just not me. I was like,
Right.
Right.
get the what out of here?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
And did y'all see how Tasha tried to throw in some of that? I was really angry and frustrated, and because this has just been going on for so long. Like, don't try to draw some empathy from people.
No,
You
and
don't-
she was almost repeating what Cardi said.
Thank you. Exactly.
Really, really.
Tosh, that proved her malicious intent to me.
And
Yeah.
then I also noticed that she started making the statement very frequently, to the best of my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. So everything, she was making it to where she could not be perjured because it
Right,
was
but
to the
she
best of her knowledge.
Yeah, but she still was perjured,
Right.
impeached. She still.
Well,
'Cause
not
she
really, because it was to the best of her knowledge. Like, basically, I might not remember.
No.
No,
What
she still
about
was impeached.
no? What about what she said? The lady asked her, "So did you lie about having a lawyer?"
Yeah, she
It's
finally
my
got that.
friend
No,
who's a
ma'am.
lawyer.
Yeah, and then she finally had to admit, and see at the beginning, and that's why Miss Matz was referring to not only the deposition but even her testimony at the beginning of the trial.
And the video.
Yeah, she was impeaching herself all over the place.
And I like how for those that have an open mind, I like how she really discredited Tasha when she said, "So you lied then? You lied to your subscribers then, right?"
Exactly.
What she said, if that's how you want to put it, fine.
Yeah.
What else did
Misrepresented.
she say?
Misrepresented is a lie, period. You know that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So what else did she say? She said, was this the first day or the second day?
Yeah.
Can you play that?
I can't keep up with my lies.
Can you put it up
Like
there?
it
Can you play the
matters.
video?
I cannot keep up with my lies. Can you help me?
Well, the first day I was frazzled, so it just doesn't matter that day. Okay.
Yeah. Forget about my lies.
Good night, Selenia. Thank you for coming by.
That's why Miss Matt said it doesn't matter. It was all under oath.
Right.
You understood it was under oath, right?
You do know under oath perjury, right?
Right? Let me give you this warning.
Yes. Miss
Shot fired.
Person.
Okay, the April 1st is not going to be in court. It's going to be online. So that means you guys can call in and listen to it yourself as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a number for you guys so you guys will be able to access it and listen to it yourself. It'll be just like you're sitting in the courtroom.
Mm-hmm. And what
Now,
time?
are they
you remember the time?
I can go get the time for you.
And are they supposed to be there? Is Tasha K and them supposed to be there for that one?
No, they all got to be online on the phone. It's on the phone.
Yeah. Yep.
So you guys can get a chance to listen to it yourself.
Folks better
It's
be
going to be
their
on
best
Friday,
behavior.
April Fool's Day. It's so isn't that ironic?
Mm-hmm.
April Fool's Day.
Yep. And there will be a food.
Oh, she
Please
gonna get in
subscribe to the
trouble.
Only Male Show, and here's Sweet One has put her link in there. Subscribe to Speaking from the Purple Couch. That's her link in there as well, guys. Please, please, please subscribe to them because I'm telling you, they have some good content. Mel B goes back and she reduced a lot of stuff and she breaks it down in very easy layman terms, which is perfect. And she gives you one bite at a time. How do you eat a big elephant?
One
One
bite.
small bite at a time.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what is S. Thomas saying here in the comments? No, it was when she told Miss Matz to pull it back up, and Miss Matz said no.
Oh yeah.
What happened? Say what now?
You remember?
What happened? Say that
That
again.
was
Mhm.
funny.
Refresh.
Yeah. When it was something she asked her to pull up a video or something, in the transcript or something, and Miss Mann said, "Nope, no,
That is not my favorite way.
no, I'm
But
sick of you."
she was really trying to irritate her because every
Mhm.
time she said, "Oh, I don't remember. Could you put it up?"
Uh
Oh, I
huh.
don't remember that. Could
Mhm.
you repeat that again? What
Mm.
page is that again? I mean,
Could
how
you
do
just play the
you keep
video?
asking what page it is on get again? And you,
Mhm.
come on.
I
I'll
mean,
tell
in
you this.
reality, though, I think
Mhm.
she was screwing herself by doing that because then she would have to read what she said.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I don't think she thought that they would be so prepared that they would know those
And
numbers.
go straight to it.
But
Here,
and the
yep.
other
Let
part,
me tell you where it is.
the other part in her testimony where she said, "Yeah, I got that either from my YouTube channel or my website." She was actually trying to do some daggone promotion of her
Mm-hmm.
own website. Is how I interpreted that. Like you
Mm-hmm.
trying to pub for your own website. It's either on my YouTube channel or my website or my
Yeah.
website. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of courts, I got some updates for you guys for different courts. You know, Chris Brown goes back to court on the 22nd of May. 20 no the 31st of May at 8:30 a.m. It's going to be a case management conference he's having for
But
his
the girl
case with
doesn't have a
Jane Doe.
lawyer.
Huh?
The girl doesn't have a lawyer. The lawyer quit.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah, she
Maybe she'll
withdrew.
represent herself.
Yep. She
Or get
said that
Michael Avenatti.
because of the
She's
lady did
missing
not
her
provide her with the things, she's out.
Oh wow. Well, they're having a conference on May 31st, 2020 at 2022 at 8:30 a.m. in the Department A of 6 do I need to address both of those in California?
Ooh.
Okay, and
Where in
also
California?
you have Kanye West divorce is
I'm
going
not
on. And I
interested
can
in
give
that.
y'all
Kanye
that
making
information
himself
too.
look crazy.
I can give y'all that information too, because you know y'all, the infamous Sylvia get all the court information if you want.
Infamous Sylvia on the case.
On the case, that's
On the
On
right.
the
Infamous
case.
Sylvia on the
case.
case. Yeah. Okay, y'all want the information for Kim Kardashian?
You know I do.
All right,
I
let's.
don't.
Hmm.
All right, they last. They originally filed. Did everybody mute their phone? Because I hear feedback. All right, their case. It was filed originally on February 19, 2001. And it's a case of marriage dissolves, desolate. What is it?
Dissolution.
Dissolution slash divorce. It's at the courthouse, Stanley Mox Courthouse in Los Angeles. It's in the Supreme Court, and the judge is Judge Steve Cochran. And the petitioner, of course, Kimberly West Kimberly Kardashian, and against West Kanye. And the next court date is on August 5th, 2022 at 8:30. And it's on 111 North Hill Street, Los Angeles, California. And it's a trial setting conference. All right. Everybody got that information? And there's a lot of document. I didn't get these documents because I'm not paying for it. But I can give you an update of it. And you know that Azalea has a court case as well. Did y'all know that?
Non-factor.
Oh, okay. So, you guys can go in accordingly. Let's see who else has a court case going up. Let's see. None of these people y'all know. There's a Regent Morgan against Jane Doe. Okay, I was just trying to see those celebrities that you guys might know. Okay, and we don't have any other celebrities in here in California. All right, anybody have any questions, people? You know, Sylvia's on the case. I'm gonna use that little line. Sylvia's on the case.
Infamous Sylvia is on the
Sector
case.
gadget.
Dun, dun. Oh yeah, yeah. Still looking for the April thing. Okay, hold on. Let me go get the April stuff. Hold on.
Chris
Somebody
Brown case.
snoring?
Huh?
Somebody snoring.
Oh, is that courtroom?
That must be
All rise.
Deputy.
all right.
Ooh.
Lordy, Lordy.
I'm gonna kick her out from. I'm gonna kick
We
her
got
out.
any
So she
mods in
goes
the
see.
chat? Because somebody's in here
Yeah,
spamming
look at
me.
this. Look
Yeah.
at this. They're trying to come in here. Look at this. I
I
have
might
never
spam it.
gotten this type of spam in my channel since I started doing Tasha K. You know, it's probably her people doing this.
Oh, I'm sure.
You see that? Get them, y'all. Get them, mods.
I got him already.
Okay. I mean, I've never gotten this kind of webcam. This is crazy.
They're trying to
Tasha,
send you that
why
porn
don't
hub.
you go take a seat? Come on now. Take a seat. Take a hard bench seat.
How do they
I
share
get
so
mad.
fast?
Huh?
I said, how do those things share so fast? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those.
I know, it's like, and you know, and I've never got this type before until I start doing the reading. I usually get the little small little ones.
I tried to pop in some gum, even though you can't have gum in court. But she seemed like she was a gum chewing a little bit with her attitude. Yeah, she wanted to suck her teeth at Miss Matt's.
But Miss Mott, you listen, honey, you be laying it down. When it comes, girl, you do that so well.
I am just she really. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah,
like
okay.
To work, huh?
yeah. I don't know how.
Miss Matt, seriously, how you feel about it? Just the questions, and how do you feel with her answer? Did you get annoyed a little bit, or
Oh, totally. I mean, I have to. I know you said that Miss Matz got frustrated, and I understand why. Because when you know someone is playing around, and like she said at the end, she's getting inconsistent answers. But the thing is that she's still able to back it up. Yeah, you can give me an inconsistent answer, but now I'm going to show you the answer that you actually gave.
I like about them, they are very, very detailed. They
Yeah.
were prepared. Everything was structured. The only thing they had was a little bit of like problem with the computer in the beginning. I mean, like getting the stuff up, but after that, they were winging it. They knew exactly what stamp the time stamp things was. They were boom 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 boom. And when she tried to play games trying to act like she couldn't find this page, Miss Matz was like, go to page line 3, line 4. She was just like boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
And
And a couple of times the judge had to reel him in with about some things, but
thank you, MCA.
overall they were, I don't know if I could have not really got real. At one point, the judge was telling her, was it Miss Moore or Miss Mott, said she was loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was at that point yelling like, yeah.
And what about the documents that Tasha conveniently did not submit?
Right.
And the attorney said because of it being hearsay, and Miss Matt said the whole thing is hearsay.
The whole thing is hearsay. Hey, you admitted the stepfather hearsay crap.
But my thing is just it's just, to me, it was so obvious how inexperienced her attorneys were.
Yeah.
Especially in that last little go round.
And their objections were crazy.
Come on.
They were like, what?
You know how many times the judge had to reprimand them? I mean, so you see, the judge had to apologize to her. Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah,
He
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
lie.
I was finna act like my computer
That just
messed up.
means he was mad at her when he said it, and then he said, "Oh,
yeah,
that was mean. Look, oh,
That
that was
was kind of
mean."
cruel,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That was a little harsh there. That was a little harsh.
He
That was
said,
a little
She
he
did
said,
harsh.
go.
what I said was
She
right. I
did
just
go to
shouldn't have said it
school.
that way.
Yeah. And sometimes it could be very frustrating, especially when your cases are going longer um and you see kind of like the incompetence of the attorneys, you know, and sometimes I just like to share when I was working for my judge, and I remember one attorney was like really just saying stupid, crazy things, and the judge was like, okay, now you're acting like a clown, and
Oh,
and the poor attorney, he almost like cried, and it was like, Judge,
mm.
you embarrassed me in front of my client. Why did you call me a clown? I mean, it was like
That was just so mean.
it was. But
So then,
the judge, dismissed everybody and said, "Look, man, because you were acting like a clown."
Sylvia in your chat, Brenda Nicole said, I'm frustrated and I'm just listening.
Exactly. So can you imagine? I
We took
can't
that
imagine.
water break. I'm sorry. We took that water break right as it was heated too. We were
I
in the
Yes,
know,
middle of
right?
it.
Exactly.
yes.
And does Olga have another witness? Because she said maybe one more.
Maybe one more. Yeah.
And the judge was like, one more.
I know he's like,
He's
what are y'all
done.
doing?
Over it. He's over it.
Yes, he like, okay, look, y'all prepare for y'all closing, because I'm about to shut this down.
We're done, right?
I'm
Probably
about to
listening to
shut
the lies.
this down. So what time are we doing this tomorrow?
Hold on a second. Hey, I got a question. What is this file, this thing here that I'm looking at, Mel? Let me open up so what is it? Reclaim I'm a is this a disposition of documentary exhibit? What is that? Reclaiming?
I don't see anything.
Reclaimation?
Disposition of what?
Reclaimation says pursuant local
Deposition.
rule. Huh?
Deposition of what?
I
Of
don't see anything.
documentary exhibits. What does that mean?
What are you looking at?
I'm gonna show it in a minute.
Okay.
I'm on my pace, of course. Hold on. Of course, let's share this. This is no big deal. I could share this. Hold on. I just don't share my transcript. Okay. All right. What's that?
Infamous Sylvia on the case. Notice the council of
Hmm.
record and parties. Oh man, I gotta zoom this on again. Reclamation and disposition of documentary exhibits. Uh-oh. Documentary exhibits.
So tomorrow's Wednesday, Sylvia. Uh, at 7 o'clock. I got drop off my time, but it's right around the corner. So it'll take me
I
about
know.
15 minutes.
Documentary
Okay.
exhibits in the above style case will be disposed of if you've not recovered same within 30 days from the date of this letter. Looks like they're going to get rid of some stuff.
Yeah,
Ooh,
because they're not trying to hold, them books and
right.
all those
The audio.
paper documents.
Scroll up a little bit more. Scroll up some, Sylvie.
You see, they're going to
Yes.
destroy them. They're
Yeah.
going to get rid of the paper documents, and
Yeah.
they have a book.
Any audio and video exhibits will be
Yeah.
retained after the time for appeal has expired or appealed cases until entry of appellate court's mandate. Ah, uh-oh. I hope they respond to this. If they end up going to if they end up going to appeal it, that's going to be an issue.
Well, they'll see.
I hope they respond to that
Well,
timely.
they have their copies.
Right. But then knowing them, it'll be a whole new argument about, well, no, this wasn't. That's going to be interesting. Or they're going to be asking you for it, Miss Motts.
Ha.
Shoot.
There I go. And one of the reasons why they started that in the federal courts and getting rid of stuff is because there was a major case, DirecTV. Yeah, DirecTV.
Mm-hmm.
We had a whole file room dedicated to DirecTV, all those people they sued for piracy. And
Ooh.
Mm.
even though those things was coming through CMECF, we had to keep the papers because there was no ruling on it that we could get rid of the papers.
So
So
what's the law now? How long do
so
you have?
now they is what they put in there.
Well, I
It
mean,
could
was
be
it like
30
90
days,
days?
it
Oh,
could
okay.
be 90 days. It really depends on the extent and the length of the trial.
Mm,
But they do have rules in place now that you can get rid of this paper.
mm. Well, I hope Tasha. I hope they are on the. I hope they're on the case. For real, for real.
What is the process for appeal?
You gotta wait till the whole case is over. The injunction and everything.
Hmm. And so
Which
that's
we
after April 1st?
After his ruling, after whatever he say the injunction is and the order is signed and finalized,
But an injunction is not the always a step in the process, though, is it?
it closes the case. See, the case is still open. They did the award. They did the because a lot of people was posting, oh, this is a new case when the injunction came out. This is
Hmm.
just the continuation. This is the final piece of the puzzle. So that the whole case is like, because it's not a different case number. It's the same case. It's just the injunction phase to determine any restrictions now
Oh,
that
And
so
they
so here is where they can demand that Tasha take down the
yes,
videos from every place, or
yes,
okay.
yes, or silence her. She can't say Cardi
with the
B's name
wig
ever
guy?
in life.
Mm.
which
She'll be in violation.
I
Hmm?
honestly foresee that that's going to happen because she hasn't stopped.
No.
Yeah.
She,
Yeah, her
she lost
behavior
and
has
she still
been.
won't stop.
And
And
she
she
lost
said
her
an injunction
merchandise.
is what would make her stop. She said an injunction.
She needs to have to apologize. Not only redact, I mean, take it down, but she needs to apologize.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't ask for that in the injunction. They were pretty lenient in that injunction because they should have said that she can never ever say her name. But the judge can, at his discretion, he can go further
As
with
he
the
should.
request.
So
Yeah.
this can possibly be finished by April 1st?
Hmm.
What happens on the 1st?
It's
They
a
go,
hearing.
yeah,
Oh,
they go over all the injunction motions that were submitted.
Well,
Hmm.
I guess we're gonna find out on the first. Shoot.
Hmm. He can make his ruling that day, or he can say, 24 hours, I'll
mhm.
do my order and
Oh.
say what the injunction will be. Go into record, the case will close, and then they have time to appeal it at the 11th Circuit.
And you know what, Sylvie, back to you as far as you doing these transcript readings. Even though people aren't really, like it's not a
Viral.
million people in here like this, but this is really helpful because when that injunction comes out, those that have been following up with these transcript readings, it's
Yes.
all going to make sense. It's all going to just fall
Yes.
into line and be thoroughly understood just because you're doing these transcript readings. So
Def-
kudos to you, girl.
definitely.
I agree. With
Definitely.
with her doing this new slogan, this new merchandise, I ain't got it. Isn't that like taunting the court system as well?
Oh, yeah. She done taunted the court system in a lot of ways in her Martin Luther King speech, talking about payola and the
Yeah.
machine.
And I'm hoping that they're seeing all of this because it's just ridiculous. You know, she
Yeah.
just does not know when to stop. She doesn't know when
We
to
know
stop.
how Miss Mats do it. You don't think she came to court prepared?
Come
She
on,
going to court prepared.
come
Miss
on.
Mats is prepared.
And if
All that will be seen.
well, when they argue, when they have the conversation about it, they'll probably be like, "Well, Your Honor, also please bear in mind that on this day and that day and this day, she posted this video and da 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 da." So
Hmm.
I'm sure it's going to be brought up. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be,
Yeah. I sure would bring it up.
girl.
Hmm.
You
I
know
think
you
I'm a,
would, Miss Motts.
I think I'm gonna interrupt the hearing and just if they don't bring it up, I'm gonna bring it.
I do think that they did a initial good job today, her attorneys, by saying where did you hear these things and pointing out all the other people that had mentioned the things that she had mentioned? They did decent until they start objecting and making stupid comments.
But also the thing too is these people might have said that, but they did not repeatedly and consistently say it over a long period of time,
Right.
over years.
And if I understand correctly, didn't they say that in response to videos that it's like in comment sections? It wasn't like they created videos and put them on their own platforms, right? They were just comments on certain videos. Is that
But I
right?
think Azalea was on The Breakfast Club.
Okay, yeah.
And she said Azalea apologized to her.
Right.
And most of them people retracted or apologized or, just left it and didn't say it anymore. But she's the one who kept going on and on and on.
Well,
the beat don't stop till the break of dawn. She just kept going on.
Well.
She said Jocelyn Hernandez said it and started it and made a record about it. I don't remember. Do y'all?
And that's a good point too. How she was trying to spell tea in the courtroom.
Yeah.
See what had happened was, oh Lord.
Well, what she didn't do was convince. She wasn't convincing to me that she's seen these things prior to making the allegations. She went back and dug up evidence. Is what I got from it.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, this is stuff she dug up for herself to use for court.
But had the audacity to use the word research. Like she really got in there and turned over stones and rocks and stuff. Like, are you serious? Come on.
But she researched who sent her the cease and desist.
Right.
And then I recognize, like, when Miss Matt said, so all these people sent you all this evidence, but you didn't put it into discovery. Hearsay, Your Honor.
Like, what?
If that went to being your evidence, why would it be hearsay? It's not hearsay. That's what was you used as your evidence.
Your mindset. This helped your mindset.
Now, Miss Thomas said again, I remember Miss Thomas saying she remembers the Jocelyn song, but she doesn't recall Cardi's name being mentioned in it.
And she didn't carry on and on and on and on about it.
It's been gone for years.
Right.
She already said Cardi B responded. That must have been the end of it.
Right. Exactly.
End of that fight.
Right. Exactly. But I don't know.
All right, good people, you guys. Thank you so much. I tried to look for the time and date. I don't have it, but I'll definitely contact the court and I'll get that information to you guys tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for having us, Sylvie.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Again, you guys are awesome. And we're almost finished with the reading, guys. We're almost finished. What's $52.99? What's somebody put $52.99? What's $52.99? Good design put $52.99. What happened?
For the hoodie.
For what hoodie?
She must be going on the shop and looking at the prices for the hoodies. I bought the hoodie, so I gave it.
You went and bought this hoodie for Tasha K?
No, for you.
Are you
getting?
No, she's saying Tasha K hoodies.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, she said Tasha K hoodie.
Okay. Yes, somebody said Tasha K hoodie. Yeah, that's what somebody's saying.
My bad. I bought the Sylvia hoodie though.
You got it.
Yeah, did y'all? Oh, I gotta put it up. I gotta show y'all the chat. Okay, everybody who's interested in buying any merch from Infamous Sylvia, we do have merches on this side. It's called infamoussylvia.shop. Hold on,
I'll go put it up. I put the link in.
I want to show you how to shop. Hold on. Where is it at? What is it, guys? Hold on. Do you see I don't go to this stuff too much, right? It's somebody. Okay, I'm going to show you how to shop. Oh. Where is it?
I clicked the link. I put the link in there.
I can't click it from where you have it.
Want me to text it?
Infamous
hold on.
Sylvia on the case.
On the case.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, I gotta bring it up. Hold on. All right, here we go, y'all. We gotta show it off for a minute. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, guys. Here it is. Okay, where is it? Okay, there it is. There's the shop, y'all. Here's the shop.
Hey.
It's cute. There goes Sylvia.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's the
That's
shop.
cool.
Look at that. Ooh.
Hey.
Hey,
hey
I didn't
now.
see that one. I'm okay. I didn't see that one. Dang it, I gotta go back in.
You didn't see that one? Hold on. Hold on, wait. Okay, what am I doing wrong?
Hmm.
Just go to the next picture over.
Oh, here it is. There they go.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
There we go. It's nice.
And
I
they're
like
That's
blinking.
that.
my favorite color, y'all. I know I gotta
Yeah,
put
Yes.
my
it's pretty. I like
purple in
that.
it. My
Mhm.
favorite color. Remember, these are rhinestone, guys. It's not those regular rinky dinky. Look at this rhinestone.
Right.
All right.
Blingy, blingy is what they are.
Bling
Mhm.
blings.
You have the
Blink.
mugs on this site as well?
This one doesn't have the mugs. The mug is on this other site. Hold on. What's the other site, guys?
Hold on one second.
I suck. I suck trying to get this stuff to y'all.
Say kudos to your mods.
Kudos to the mods and kudos to the people that this channel for me. I mean this and I wanted all those people who got their stuff, the freebies and stuff like that. Y'all been missing out on them good stuff, y'all. I have been giving out
Mhm.
freebies for those. Oh, I want to talk to you guys. Well, we'll talk another time. I have an artist who's gonna do the painting for y'all. Y'all can get your own paintings, and I got so much stuff going on.
All right. All right.
So the site that I just posted is the one with the mugs.
Okay.
Thank you. I collect mugs. So.
The mugs and I think the jogger pants
Hold on a
and
second. Let me show you the mugs. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Hold on.
In the water bottle.
Yeah, the
and
water
the
bottle.
iPad cover or not iPad. What was it? The earphone thingies.
AirPods.
AirPods.
Pro case.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Right. I love me some hoodies, pretty brown eyes.
Mhm.
She said she loves some hoodies.
Yep.
Me
I
too.
think
They are so comfortable.
everyone in my house loves hoodies. They all walk around. I was gonna make a bad comment, so I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, smart butt?
I was gonna say something about a stereotype, but that's not funny anymore after Trayvon Martin, so we're just not gonna say that.
What you gonna say? Okay, hell, hold on. Let me go inside this. Let me
Hey,
show it
look,
to
the
you.
web person came back.
It came back. Oh, they haters, man.
Mm.
Okay, look at this, y'all. This is it. Look. See, y'all? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, y'all.
It's loading.
Ooh, okay.
Has it
There you
loaded
go.
yet?
So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different page, pretty round. That's why they keep coming back.
See, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Do you ship these, Miss Sylvia, or does it come from somewhere else?
It comes from somewhere else. It doesn't come from me. Oh no. Oh no, that'd be a little bit too much. They come in white too. Oh, I didn't pick the white. Oh, you can't pick the white. It's on the black. But it's the cup right here. You say you do mugs, right?
I have a maybe about 60 different mugs. I collect mugs. I have like a station in my kitchen with just a whole bunch of different mugs. I'm gonna order it.
I like the coffee one, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like this one too.
Yeah, the travel mug. I like
the
that
coffee
too.
mug is the one I do.
Yeah.
Get a hoodie. All right, I'm tired of looking at stuff now.
The bodyguard in the house. What they say, Black Beauty?
Got the mask. They got the mask. It comes in different color.
Oh, that's good.
So that's the last link that Perspective Me added for the mugs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, that's enough little advertisement right now. Oh my God, they back again. They keep coming back.
Pretty Brown Eyes already got them.
They're not giving up.
And they're coming from different pages
Somebody
because
said
we're
something
hiding them.
nasty. Somebody said something nasty.
I see nice.
What they said, if you don't have anything positive to say, I advise you to keep it comment to yourself.
She said it was a warning.
Oh, okay.
Shots fired.
Just giving a warning.
Shots fired.
She said, well, Sherry said we will go where she hides her money, where she hid her money.
Oh, you have the AirPod case too.
Yeah, I have AirPod case. Those, I gave that away. I had a whole bunch of freebies, and so people could see what the merchants look like. I gave them all away already. Okay, nobody say I ain't give anything out.
The tumbler is nice too. The wine tumbler.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, winos? Get you an infamous Sylvia.
Yeah, we got infamous Sylvia wino glass for y'all.
Let's see.
All right, guys. Good night. I thank you guys for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're gonna have some new stuff coming about, and we have a couple of more cases. What we're doing is the R. Kelly 2008 case. We're doing that behind the scene for those who have donated with the participation of donation. I tried to chat, but nothing. All right, good people. You guys got a good night. Thank you so much for being here. What time tomorrow? Because I'm not getting notification. Okay, tomorrow. What is the best time for tomorrow? 9:00. Because it's better. I'm telling you. Because the other earlier time, folks, it's not good for everybody. I know, Purple Couch. I know you always want to try to do it early, but it's very hard for folks to get on time. Sometimes I'll be working and.
I'm sorry. For me, the earlier time is early because I'm 3 hours ahead of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she said put the Cash App again. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Here's my Cash App.
Sylvia, you don't have to do it. You got mods, woman.
Okay. Sorry.
Mods.
I'm open for any time, but I know that Tasha K is going to be on the stand all day, so I think we have to accommodate. She's going to be on the stand line all day. She's going to be on the line the whole day. So we need to accommodate her schedule.
I think Cardi come back up too, I think.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, I have to check the transcript and see. All right, good people. Where's my Mel? She's still here. Okay, she's still here too. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. I thank you so much again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share this and let this go viral so people know the truth. The truth will set you free.
Won't it though?
For sure.
Amen. All right. Good
All right,
night,
y'all.
good people.
All right, see
Good
y'all
night.
next time.
All
Okay,
right.
good night.
Bye,
I
Bye, y'all.
got to
everybody.
get up. I got to go to bed.
All right.
Okay, go to bed. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.